Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Facts channel. Tonight, we'll be drifting softly through the vastness of the universe, that quiet ocean of time and light that holds everything we have ever known. You don't need to think or remember or try. Just breathe, slowly, and allow your mind to rest upon the gentle rhythm of the cosmos. Out there, beyond the thin veil of atmosphere and memory, space stretches endlessly, not as darkness, but as calm, the kind of stillness that has no edges, the kind of silence that holds everything within it. The universe, in all its immensity, is not chaos. It is not the noise of explosions or the violence of stars. It is balance. It is the slow unfolding of energy across unimaginable distances. Every motion, every flash of light, every drifting particle follows a pattern as old as time itself. When you look up at the night sky, you are not looking into emptiness. You are looking into history, into the delicate record of everything that has ever been written in photons that began their journey long before the Earth had oceans or clouds or life. Those stars are not just points of light. They are echoes of creation, humming in the blackness like faint, eternal lullabies. Even now, as you listen, the light of distant galaxies is flowing past your skin, invisible and ancient. It moves through your body like a tide of quiet information. Each photon, a traveler that began its voyage billions of years ago, carrying the story of its origin, a whisper from the deep past. Somewhere in that light lies the record of beginnings, of hydrogen becoming stars, of stars becoming dust, and of dust becoming you. The atoms inside you were once born in furnaces older than language, scattered by supernovae, gathered again through gravity's patient touch, and shaped into a body that now listens to the universe telling its story back to itself. There is a gentleness to this truth, the realization that nothing in you or around you is ever lost. Matter and energy simply transform, again and again, in an endless dance of renewal. The carbon in your lungs may once have lived in the heart of a red giant. The oxygen you breathe may have been exhaled by a forest 1,000 years ago, or drifted through the icy clouds of a comet. The water in your veins might once have been steam rising from an ancient ocean under alien stars. Every molecule in you has traveled through space and time, taking part in countless stories before becoming part of this one moment, this quiet pause between breaths where you listen and rest. And as you rest, the scale of the universe begins to feel different. It's no longer something vast and unreachable. It becomes intimate. The same physics that governs galaxies also shapes the tiny flicker of neurons inside your mind. The same forces that guide the orbits of planets are at work in the cells that keep your heart beating. Gravity binds stars together, but it also holds you to the Earth, keeping your body grounded as your imagination drifts among the constellations. The laws that sculpt the grand architecture of the cosmos also choreograph the smallest details of your existence. In this way, the universe is not distant. It is within you, and you are within it. In the deep silence between galaxies, there is no sound to carry across the vacuum, but the universe still sings. It hums in waves of energy, in radio frequencies, in gravitational ripples that pass through everything without resistance. If you could listen with different senses, with detectors instead of ears, you would hear the soft murmur of the cosmos stretching, the slow rhythm of space expanding, the low and ancient tone of creation still echoing from its beginning. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background, but in another sense, it is the afterglow of birth. The first light of the universe, cooled and stretched by time, still bathing everything in a faint warmth that never fades. Think of that for the moment the universe itself has a memory. Every particle still remembers where it came from. Every photon still carries the mark of its journey. When you lie beneath the stars, you are not outside of this story. You are the story. Your eyes are instruments tuned to the cosmos, collecting ancient light, interpreting it as beauty. You are, in every sense, a continuation of the same process that formed the stars. When you gaze upward, the universe is gazing back through you, and all the while, it moves slowly, gracefully. Galaxies drift like leaves across the surface of an invisible current. Stars orbit one another, tracing luminous spirals through the void. Planets spin in silence, warmed by distant suns. Even light, the fastest thing in existence, travels patiently, crossing billions of light years to deliver its message. Time itself flows differently in this grand expanse. Near the gravity of massive stars, seconds stretch. Near black holes, they almost stop. The universe is a place where time breathes, where eternity and an instant can blur together like waves merging in the dark. The more you drift into this awareness, the quieter everything becomes. The mind loosens, thoughts slow, and what remains is wonder. Wonder that we exist at all, that something as immense as the universe could give rise to something as delicate as consciousness. That within this endless expanse, there is a planet where atoms learn to think, to dream, and to listen, where the universe itself can fall asleep to its own stories. So for tonight, let the science be a kind of poetry. Each fact, each number, each law of physics, just a verse in the cosmic lullaby. You don't need to hold on to the details. You only need to float. Let the vastness cradle you the way gravity cradles the stars. Feel your breath slow, matching the rhythm of distant galaxies as they drift apart, millimeter by millimeter, in the deep silence of creation. The universe is not cold or empty. It is patient. It is ancient. It is filled with gentle order and quiet purpose. Every atom of you belongs to it completely. When you close your eyes, you are returning to that peace, to that infinite stillness from which all things come and to which all things eventually return. You are not separate from the stars above you or the earth beneath you. You are part of the same great unfolding, the same quiet pulse that moves through everything that has ever been. So, breathe again, in and out. Let the noise of thought fade. Let your body grow heavy, your mind light. Above you, the galaxies continue their slow dance. Around you, space stretches and hums. Within you, the atoms sing the same ancient song they have sung since the beginning of time. This is where you belong here, in the calm heart of the universe. You are made of stars, resting among stars, part of the endless rhythm of creation and rest. The universe is still expanding, but for now, it is enough to be still. The universe is still expanding. The universe is still expanding. Even now, as you listen, the very fabric of space is stretching, gently and endlessly, carrying galaxies away from one another across the silent deep. It is not the galaxies themselves that move through space, it is space itself that grows between them. Imagine dots drawn across the surface of a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots drift apart, not because they are traveling across its surface, but because the surface beneath them expands. That is how the universe moves, not in a rush, but in a quiet, cosmic unfolding that has been going on for almost 14 billion years. If you were to stand outside it all, there would be no explosion to watch, no boundary expanding into emptiness. Space doesn't grow into something else. It becomes more of itself. Every second, every breath, it stretches a little further, carrying clusters of galaxies like tiny islands on a vast, invisible ocean. The stars that appear so still above you are in constant motion, drifting farther apart at speeds beyond comprehension. Yet you will never see that movement with your eyes, because the scales are too vast, the rhythm too slow for human perception. It is a motion you can only feel in the imagination. the soft sigh of creation continuing in silence. When light from distant galaxies reaches us, it carries the record of this expansion. The waves of light stretch as they travel, their color shifting toward red, like a cosmic exhale recorded across time. This phenomenon, called redshift, is how we know the universe is growing. The further away a galaxy lies, the greater its redshift, meaning the faster it recedes. This discovery, made by Edwin Hubble in the 1920 seconds, revealed something profound. The universe was not eternal and unchanging as once believed. It was alive with motion. It had a past, a beginning, and most likely a future written in the rhythm of expansion. Before Hubble, many imagined a steady, eternal cosmos where the stars shone in fixed constellations, forever unchanged. But the faint fingerprints of redshift told another story. They whispered that everything had once been closer together, that the galaxies were once one luminous sea of energy and matter, dense and brilliant beyond measure. That cosmic unity, long ago, is what we now call the Big Bang. Not a blast into space, but the creation of space itself. From that singular beginning, space has continued to unfold, every second carrying galaxies farther apart, every heartbeat expanding the map of reality itself. You are living inside this expansion. Every atom, every particle, every beam of light is part of the same stretching fabric. The distance between galaxies grows, but so too does the very metric that defines distance. Space is not still, and neither are you. Though you cannot feel it, the molecules that make up your body drift infinitesimally farther apart with every passing moment, carried on the same current that moves galaxies. Within this slow breath of the cosmos, you exist a cluster of stardust, bound together by gravity and thought, quietly participating in the universe's endless growth. The motion of this expansion is both vast and delicate. Locally, it does not tear things apart. Gravity holds stars in their galaxies, planets in their orbits, and atoms within your body. The expansion only becomes visible at scales larger than imagination, where light takes billions of years to cross the distance between galaxies. Within those enormous gulfs, space stretches freely. But within smaller worlds, solar systems, hearts, homes, it is balanced by the gentle strength of attraction. The universe expands, but it also holds. It breathes outward, but it never forgets how to keep its creations close. The rate of this expansion is described by something called the Hubble constant, a measure of how fast distant galaxies move away. And yet, even this constant may not be constant at all. Observations show that the pace of expansion is changing. It is accelerating. The universe, it seems, is not just expanding, it is doing so faster and faster, as though some invisible hand is pushing it outward. The cause of this acceleration is one of science's greatest mysteries. We call it dark energy, though the name is more poetry than understanding. It is an unseen pressure, filling all of space, urging it to grow. No one knows where it comes from or why it behaves as it does. It simply is a quiet force that makes the cosmos grow wider with every heartbeat. In the far future, this acceleration will shape everything. The light of distant galaxies will fade until it disappears entirely, stretched beyond the range of sight. The night sky will empty. Civilizations in that future age will see only the faint glow of their own galaxy, unaware that others ever existed. The stars will burn slower, colder, until they fade into blackness. Yet even then, the expansion will continue gentle, unstoppable, infinite. It is not destruction, it is not loss, it is a deep and peaceful unfolding. The universe exhaling into eternity. The light that reaches you tonight began its journey when the cosmos was young. Each photon crossing billions of years, each wave stretched by the space it moved through. When you look at the stars, you are seeing the story of that expansion written in light. Some of those stars have already died. Their light continues on, undisturbed, crossing the widening gulf, a reminder that nothing truly vanishes, it only travels. In the quiet space between moments, you are witnessing history that began long before you were born, long before the Earth even existed. And yet, for all its vastness, the expansion feels gentle, like the rise and fall of breath in the night. If the universe were alive, and in some sense, it is then this expansion would be its pulse. It began in an instant of unimaginable intensity and has continued ever since, spreading the seeds of galaxies, stars, and life across the dark. In that expansion lies balance, rhythm, patience. The cosmos has no hurry. It has no destination. It expands because that is its nature, to grow, to stretch, to exist. In the spaces between galaxies, between atoms, between thoughts, that same expansion hums. It is not something outside you. You are within it and of it. The quiet widening of space is also the quiet unfolding of being itself. The universe grows, and through it, so do you, your awareness, your life, your understanding. You are not standing still under a moving sky. You are part of the motion, part of the same slow drift through infinity. So as you rest now, imagine it. The galaxies sliding apart in graceful silence, their light stretching into long, soft waves that ripple across time. The universe breathes out, and in that breath, you find calm. Every molecule, every star, every heartbeat expands in harmony. The night around you, the air you breathe, the atoms in your bones, all of it is the universe continuing its timeless rhythm. The stars above may seem fixed, but they are sailing across a sea of growing space, carried by a motion older than memory. The galaxies do not rush, they drift, patient and eternal. The cosmos is still expanding, and so, in your quiet way, are you. Close your eyes, feel the stillness beneath the motion, the peace within the vastness. The universe is not racing away, it is unfolding, softly, endlessly, like the slow opening of a dream. 2. You are made of stardust. You are made of stardust. Every atom that builds the shape of your body, every element that flows through your blood, was forged long ago in the heart of a star. The calcium in your bones, the carbon that forms your cells, the iron that gives your blood its deep color, all of it was born in ancient furnaces scattered across the galaxy. Before the Earth existed, before the sun burned, before there was even a place for life to take form, stars were already dying so that you could one day live. When they reached the ends of their lives, they collapsed inward and then erupted outward, scattering their heavy elements across the cosmos. Those clouds of enriched dust drifted through space for millions of years, blending, cooling, and condensing until, at last, they became new stars, new planets, and eventually, us. This is not poetry, it is fact. The hydrogen that fuels your breath is as old as time itself, born in the first seconds after the Big Bang. The carbon and oxygen that shape your every cell were created billions of years later in stars that lived and died long before our sun was born. Every time you breathe, you are inhaling molecules that have cycled through oceans, mountains, and clouds. But their story begins far deeper in the heart of collapsing suns, where gravity and pressure fused simpler elements into complex ones. To exist is to carry their memory. Your body is a mosaic of cosmic history, written in the language of physics and flame. If you could see through the illusion of distance and time, you would see the stars not as distant lights but as kin. Their matter is your matter, their light is your light. The energy that burns in them is the same energy that flows through every nerve, every spark of thought. The atoms within you are ancient travelers. They have been part of other worlds, other beings, other stories. Some of them may have floated through a cloud of gas that once shrouded an alien sun. Others might have drifted through the dust rings of planets that no longer exist. The elements that make your heart beat have been recycled through the birth and death of countless stars. You are, quite literally, the universe remembering itself. The process that created you began with hydrogen, the simplest atom, the first element to form. In the beginning, the universe was filled with it, pure, light, and abundant. Hydrogen is the cosmic seed, the building block from which all heavier elements are made. When gravity gathered clouds of hydrogen together, the pressure and heat at their cores ignited nuclear fusion. Hydrogen fused into helium, releasing light and energy. These early stars burned brightly but briefly, living only a few million years before collapsing under their own weight. In their deaths, they gave birth to new elements: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, silicon, iron. They scattered these treasures across the cosmos, each explosion enriching the next generation of stars. Every cycle added more complexity, until the universe was filled not only with light, but with the ingredients for life. When you touch your skin, you are touching the residue of that process. The atoms that make you are billions of years old, older than the solar system, older than the Milky Way in its current form. You are, in a very real way, a walking constellation. The dust of long-dead stars has gathered into the delicate machinery of your body, the soft pattern of your hands, the quiet rhythm of your breathing. Every cell is a small laboratory, still powered by the same rules that govern the fusion in distant suns. Inside you, chemistry hums like starlight slowed down, steady, patient, endless. And just as stars give off light, you too radiate, not in the same bright way, but gently, invisibly. Your body emits photons, tiny packets of infrared light that drift softly into the air around you. You glow, faintly and continuously, like a cool ember in the vast dark. If you could see with different eyes, you would notice it, the subtle halo of energy that surrounds every living thing. Even in stillness, even in sleep, you are shining, echoing the stars that gave you birth. There's a quiet unity in this realization. The stars are not above you or beyond you. They are within you, folded into the molecules of your being. The space between your atoms mirrors the space between galaxies, wide, silent, filled with potential. The same laws that bind matter in the heart of a supernova also shape thoughts that pass through your mind. You are not separate from the cosmos, you are its continuation. The universe did not stop creating after the stars, it continued through you. Every heartbeat, every breath, every dream is part of that same long chain of transformation that began at the dawn of time. Think of the elements as a kind of cosmic lineage. Hydrogen, the first and simplest, gives rise to helium, helium to carbon, carbon to oxygen, oxygen to iron. Each new generation of stars inherits the ashes of the ones before it, just as life on Earth inherits the remnants of the past. The bones of ancient creatures lie beneath our feet, their elements recycled into the air, the oceans, and the bodies of living beings. In the same way, the universe recycles itself endlessly. The stardust that once formed planets and burned in suns has become trees, oceans, mountains, and you. You are not a visitor here. You are the earth, the air, the light, made conscious for a little while. If you were to trace every atom in your body backward through time, you would arrive not at the moment of your birth, but at the first moments of the cosmos. The hydrogen in your cells was born within the first 3 minutes after the Big Bang. The oxygen you breathe was forged in supernova explosions billions of years later. The calcium in your bones crystallized in the atmosphere of dying red giants. Each element is a page in a vast history written across space and time, and that story culminates, for now, in you, one small, luminous being, aware enough to look up and wonder where it all came from. When you lie beneath the night sky, remember that it is not a separate world above you, it is your origin, your home. The light of the stars that reach your eyes tonight may have left its source before human life began. Yet those photons complete their journey by meeting the atoms that were born alongside them. In that moment of contact, you and the universe reunite. The light that began its journey billions of years ago finds its way back to the matter it helped to create. Even your breath carries this cosmic heritage. The oxygen you inhale once swirled inside the core of a star. The carbon dioxide you exhale will one day nourish plants, become wood, decay, and return to the soil, perhaps to be drawn again into the air, the ocean, or even another living creature. This cycle of exchange never ends. The elements do not vanish, they travel, transform, and return. Death and life, birth and decay, are not opposites but different phases of the same universal rhythm. And so, when you look up at the stars, you are not just seeing light, you are seeing yourself in a different form. The stars are ancient mirrors, reflecting the matter of your own being. Their glow is your ancestry, your origin, your reflection scattered across infinity. The atoms that make your body were once part of their hearts. And one day, long after you are gone, those same atoms will return to the stars. Again, you are the continuation of their story. The stars burned so that you might think, dream, and rest. Their light became your life. When you close your eyes, you are not separate from the night sky. You are part of its quiet expansion, its eternal chemistry, its slow transformation. You are made of stardust, and the stars are made of you. Together, you are one long, luminous thought in the mind of the cosmos, breathing softly through the endless dark. 3. Space is almost perfectly silent. In the vastness beyond our fragile atmosphere, silence reigns. Not the kind of silence you find in a quiet room or in the stillness before sleep, but a deeper, more absolute stillness. In space, there is no air, no wind, no surface to carry sound. The universe is almost perfectly mute. If you could stand upon an asteroid and listen, you would hear nothing, not the hum of your own heartbeat, not the echo of your breath against your helmet, not the distant thunder of stars being born. There would only be the slow rhythm of your thoughts and the steady pulse of your own existence, surrounded by a silence so pure it borders on eternity. Sound, as we know it, is a vibration that travels through matter, through air, through water, through metal or stone. It needs particles to move from one place to another. Without a medium, there can be no echo, no whisper, no song. In the vacuum of space, where the distance between atoms stretches wider than comprehension, there are no particles to vibrate. A star could explode beside you, releasing more energy than billions of bombs, and you would hear nothing. Its light would dazzle your eyes, its radiation would scorch, but its voice would never reach you. The cosmos unfolds in total silence, and yet, this silence is not empty. It hums in other ways, in forms the human ear cannot hear. Space vibrates with invisible music, waves of light, radiation, and gravity moving through it. Astronomers have learned to listen not with ears, but with instruments that detect these subtle patterns. Radio telescopes capture the faint electromagnetic whispers of distant galaxies, pulsars, and quasars. Gravitational wave detectors feel the trembling of space-time itself as massive objects like black holes collide and merge. These are not sounds in the way we experience them, but they are the universe's hidden language, its quiet symphony of energy and time. If you could translate those invisible vibrations into something audible, you might find that the cosmos sings in frequencies too vast for comprehension. The low rumble of merging galaxies, the rhythmic pulses of dying stars, the faint hiss of the cosmic background radiation, the afterglow of creation itself, all weave together into a tapestry of motion and resonance. The silence of space is not absence, but transformation. The universe does not speak in sound. It speaks in waves of light and gravity, in slow oscillations that stretch across billions of years. On Earth, silence is rare. Even in the stillest places, the depths of caves, the heart of deserts, or snowbound forests, there is always some murmur of life. The air trembles with insects, wind, water, and heartbeats. In space, there is none of that. The silence there is so complete that it becomes almost a presence of its own, vast and enveloping. To imagine it is to imagine the mind freed from noise, from distraction, from all the small clatters of daily life. The quiet of space is a reminder that not everything must be filled. Some places, even in the cosmos, exist only to be still. If you were floating in orbit, you would see the Earth below a sphere of color and motion, and beyond it, a blackness deeper than ink. That blackness is not emptiness. It is the absence of sound, but not of energy. Photons race through it. Gravity ripples across it. Particles flicker in and out of existence within it. It is a sea of stillness, alive with invisible motion. The silence of space is paradoxical, infinite and yet filled with activity, quiet and yet ceaselessly alive. It is the calm breath between the universe's heartbeats. And yet, in this silence, every form of existence finds its rhythm. Stars do not need sound to burn. Planets do not need to hear to orbit. Galaxies do not require voices to communicate. The laws of physics are silent, and their silence is perfect. In that stillness, hydrogen fuses into helium, dust gathers into worlds, and gravity pulls light into the graceful arcs of cosmic motion. Life itself began in silence, molecules combining in the dark, atoms assembling without noise, guided only by chemistry and chance. The first whisper of existence was not heard, but felt. When astronauts describe space, they often mention how overwhelming its quiet can be. Within the spacecraft, there are mechanical sounds, the soft hum of fans, the occasional tap of instruments, but outside, through the glass, there is only stillness. No matter how closely they look, there is nothing to hear. The silence becomes almost spiritual, a mirror that reflects the thoughts of the observer. In that silence, you begin to hear yourself more clearly, the rhythm of your breath, the weight of your heartbeat, the small currents of thought that drift through your mind. Space strips away every other sound until all that remains is your own being, suspended in eternity. That silence, though absolute, is not lonely. It is welcoming in its vastness. To imagine the cosmos as mute is to recognize how rare and delicate sound truly is. Every voice, every song, every heartbeat that echoes on Earth exists only because of air, because molecules vibrate and collide, carrying motion from one being to another. On our small planet, sound is the music of matter, a gentle byproduct of density. But beyond our thin layer of atmosphere, the universe returns to its native state, calm, motionless, unbroken. And still, the silence has its own rhythm. The light of stars flickers across the void, and though you cannot hear it, you can feel its pulse. Cosmic rays strike distant atmospheres. Auroras ripple silently across magnetic fields. Comets trace their soundless paths around the sun. Even the collisions of galaxies, events so enormous they release unimaginable power, occur wordlessly. Their energy ripples through spacetime itself, but not as sound. It moves as gravity, bending the very shape of reality, vibrating at frequencies far below human perception. In 2015, for the first time, humans detected these gravitational waves, tiny tremors in spacetime, produced by two merging black holes. The signal lasted less than a second, but it carried the memory of a collision that occurred over 1 billion years ago. When scientists translated that vibration into sound, it became a faint, rising note, like the soft pluck of a string in the darkness. In that moment, humanity heard the echo of the universe's silence, a single tone that had traveled through emptiness for an eternity before arriving at our ears. Even silence, it seems, can sing when we learn to listen in new ways. It's strange to think that while space is silent, Earth is one of the few places in the cosmos filled with sound. Rain striking leaves, waves against rock, the hum of insects, the laughter of people. All these noises are impossibly rare in the universe. They are local miracles, born of air and water and life. In the cosmic scale, the Earth is not just a planet of color and motion, but of music, a tiny sphere of vibration in an otherwise mute expanse. The silence above makes our sounds below all the more precious. When you lie awake at night and the world grows quiet, you can almost feel that cosmic stillness pressing close. Beyond the walls, beyond the atmosphere, there is only the endless calm of space. The stars shimmer in their silence, each one radiating light across immeasurable distances. Their songs, carried not in sound, but in the quiet language of physics, to rest. Beneath that silence is to be part of something immense, a universe that does not need words or voices to exist. So, when you close your eyes, imagine that stillness surrounding you. Imagine the soundless drift of galaxies, the peaceful hum of invisible radiation, the soft, unending quiet of creation itself. In that silence, you are safe. You are small and infinite at once. The noise of life fades, and what remains is the deep tranquility of the cosmos, a silence not of emptiness, but of presence. The universe is not shouting, it is whispering, through its stillness, that everything is as it should be. The stars move without sound, the planets turn without music, yet in that silence lies the most profound harmony imaginable. The quiet of space is not loneliness, it is peace. It is the sound of everything existing perfectly, without the need for a single word. For there are more stars than grains of sand on Earth. There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth. Every beach, in every desert, on all the shores of Earth combined. It sounds like a metaphor, something poetic and exaggerated, but it is not. It is a truth so vast that the mind can barely contain it. To count every star in the sky would take longer than the lifetime of the universe itself. Every point of light you see when you look upward, every glimmer through the black, is only the faintest surface of something deeper, something endless. What you see is not even 1 in a trillion of what truly exists. The universe is filled with suns, so many that language falters when it tries to describe them. Imagine standing on a beach at night, the waves whispering against the shore, the sand cool beneath your feet. Scoop up a handful and watch the tiny grains slip through your fingers. Each one catches the light for an instant, glinting before it falls. There are thousands in that handful, millions more at your feet, billions more stretching down the coast. Now imagine counting them not in handfuls, but in entire coastlines, in deserts that stretch across continents, in riverbeds and dunes and ocean floors. Even if you could count for eternity, the stars would still outnumber the sand. Astronomers estimate there are more than 200 billion galaxies in the observable universe. Each one contains, on average, hundreds of billions of stars. The Milky Way alone holds around 400 billion. And yet, when you step outside on a clear night and look up, you can see only a few thousand with your naked eyes. The rest are too distant, too faint, their light stretched and softened by the vastness of space. What you see is the nearest glitter in an infinite ocean of light. Each of those countless stars is a sun, some small and cool, some vast and furious. Many are orbited by planets, perhaps by worlds like ours. Around some of those worlds, there might be oceans, forests, winds, clouds, even the faint rhythm of life. Somewhere in that endless expanse, the light from another dawn might be rising on another horizon. When you look up at the night sky, you are not looking into emptiness, you are looking into the potential for infinity itself. Every pinpoint of light is a reminder that existence is not confined to what we can touch or see. It extends forever, in all directions, through time and through thought. The scale of it defies comprehension. The nearest star beyond our sun is over 4 light-years away, more than 20 trillion miles. The light you would see from it tonight left that star before most of us were born. And yet, that distance is nothing compared to what lies beyond. The most distant galaxies we can observe are billions of light-years away. Their light began its journey when the universe itself was young, long before the Earth had formed, long before life began. That ancient light is still traveling, still arriving, painting faint images on our telescopes, carrying messages from the dawn of time. If you could see the night sky as it truly is, with eyes sensitive enough to gather every wavelength, it would not be black. It would be filled with color, alive with light from every direction. Infrared light from newborn stars, ultraviolet flares from dying ones, radio waves from the cold depths between galaxies, all weaving together in a tapestry of brilliance too vast for the human eye. The darkness we see is only an illusion, the shadow cast by our own limitations. The universe is not dark. It glows everywhere, always. And yet, there is serenity in this immensity. The stars are distant, but their light reaches you just the same. They are scattered across unimaginable distances, yet they form constellations in your mind, patterns and stories that have guided humanity since the beginning. Long before telescopes, long before science gave names to galaxies and nebulae, people looked upward and found meaning in those same points of light. They saw gods, heroes, animals, paths across the heavens. In every culture, across every age, the stars have been companions. Even now, they remain constant, their light falling softly upon our world, unchanged across generations. When you look at the stars tonight, you are seeing into the past. Each one is a message delayed by distance. The starlight that reaches your eyes began its journey long ago, crossing the expanding universe, passing through clouds of gas and dust, bending around invisible gravities before finally meeting you. The act of seeing is an act of communion with time itself. You are sharing a moment with the ancient universe, receiving light that began its journey before humanity even existed. It's humbling to know that, in all this vastness, our sun is just one ordinary star among countless others. And yet, for us, it is everything. It gives light, warmth, and life to our world. Every tree, every ocean, every breath of air depends upon it. Somewhere, out there, around another star, perhaps another planet orbits in just the right balance of warmth and cold. Perhaps its surface glimmers with oceans. Perhaps something alive looks back at the same stars and wonders as we do. The universe is not empty. It is full of possibility. When scientists peer through powerful telescopes like Hubble or the James Webb, they see not an empty void, but a crowded field of light. In every direction, the sky is filled with galaxies, clusters of billions of suns, each one with its own system of planets, moons, and dust. Even the smallest patch of sky, no larger than a grain of sand held at arm's length, contains thousands of galaxies when magnified enough. It is an overwhelming revelation that the night sky above you is not just a dome of stars, but an infinite depth of them, stacked layer upon layer, receding forever. There is peace in realizing how small we are within all of this. It might sound like insignificance, but it isn't. It's harmony. We belong to something greater, something vast and ancient and ongoing. our lives, our thoughts, our tiny moments of joy and fear. They are flickers of light within this cosmic sea. To be small is not to be unimportant. It is to be part of a greater whole, just as a single grain of sand belongs to the shore, or a single star belongs to the galaxy. If you close your eyes and imagine it, the stars become like a tide. Their light washes gently through the black, crossing unimaginable distances, touching everything. Even now, photons from stars older than the Earth are passing through you, through the room, through the air. The light of creation still travels, endlessly, unbroken. You are bathed in it, surrounded by it, connected by it. The glow of the stars is not something far away. It is the very same light that made life possible here, the same energy that beats within your heart. So the next time you find yourself under the open sky, take a moment to breathe. Look up and remember that every glimmer you see is a sun, that the darkness between them is not emptiness but distance, and that you are standing on a small planet that drifts through their infinite company. There are more stars than grains of sand, more worlds than you can imagine, more stories than there are dreams. And yet, somehow, they all exist together, balanced, luminous, still. Let that thought settle into you, like the tide on a calm shore. The stars do not hurry, and neither must you. They are ancient, patient, and ceaselessly bright. They burn quietly in the background of time, and their light will still be shining long after everything we know has passed away. You are part of that same story, one moment of light among countless others, a consciousness born from stardust, resting under a sky made of infinite suns. The stars outnumber the sand, but each grain, each spark, each life adds to the beauty of the whole. And as you breathe, you are part of that infinite equation, the quiet, glowing miracle of existence. 5. Time moves differently in space-time. That invisible river we drift upon does not flow the same everywhere. It bends, stretches, and folds depending on where you are and how fast you move. In the soft, familiar world around you, it feels constant, each second the same length as the one before. The clock ticks, the heart beats, the days rise and fall in rhythm. But beyond the Earth, out there among the stars, time behaves like a living thing. It slows near gravity, it softens with motion, and it warps around the immense bodies that shape the cosmos. Even now, as you sit in stillness, the seconds that pass for you are not quite the same as the seconds that pass for someone high above the atmosphere, or for a photon of light racing through the void. The universe does not keep one time. It keeps many, all interwoven, all relative. This idea was one of the most beautiful and unsettling discoveries in science. Before Einstein, time was thought to be absolute, steady, unchanging, the same for everyone and everything. But Einstein revealed a deeper truth. Time and space are not separate things. They are threads of the same vast fabric called space-time, woven together so intimately that to move through one is to change your path through the other. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. The stronger gravity pulls upon you, the more it bends the seconds themselves, stretching them out. In this way, time is not a universal rhythm, but a local experience, unique to every observer, shaped by the curves of the cosmos. Imagine floating near a black hole, where gravity is so strong that even light cannot escape. From far away, an observer watching you would see your movements slow to a crawl. Every motion, every blink, every breath would take longer and longer until, at the edge of that dark horizon, you would seem frozen in time. Yet for you, nothing would feel different. You would move normally, unaware that the universe outside has raced ahead. Hours for you might be centuries for others. This is not imagination. It is the measured, proven reality of how the universe works. Time is elastic, pliant, and utterly dependent on where you are. We experience a hint of this phenomenon here on Earth, though it is so small we rarely notice. The gravity at sea level is slightly stronger than the gravity on a mountain peak. Because of that difference, time actually moves a little slower for someone at the bottom of a valley than for someone standing at the top of a mountain. The difference is microscopic fractions of a second across an entire lifetime, but it exists. Precise atomic clocks have confirmed it. Satellites in orbit must correct for this effect constantly. The clocks aboard them tick faster than those on the ground because they are farther from Earth's gravitational pull. Without these corrections, the GPS systems we depend on daily would drift out of sync, misplacing every destination by miles. Even our technology must bow to the truth that time does not pass evenly across space. In deep space, away from planets and stars, where gravity grows weak and the universe expands quietly, time flows differently still. The further you travel from massive objects, the less space-time bends and the faster time passes relative to those bound to gravity's grasp. To live near a star is to live slightly slower, to orbit within a field of stretched seconds, to drift between galaxies, where the void is almost pure and calm, is to move through a faster rhythm of reality. And yet, neither is wrong. Each observer's clock is correct for them. Each heartbeat, each photon, each particle of matter experiences time at its own pace. The universe is a vast concert of clocks, all ticking at once, all true, none the same. This bending of time also reveals something profound about the nature of gravity. We often think of gravity as a force, a pull between masses, but Einstein's equations show it is something gentler and stranger. Gravity is the shape of time itself, massive. Objects like stars and planets bend the geometry of space-time, and smaller bodies, including us, simply follow those curves. What we call falling is really just moving along the straightest possible path through a warped landscape. And in that warped landscape, time slows down. To exist in a gravitational field is to live within a gradient of time, where seconds stretch near mass and quicken in the emptiness beyond. Think about this. If you could travel close to the speed of light and then return to Earth, you would find that more time had passed here than for you. Perhaps you would age only a few years while centuries unfolded at home. This isn't fantasy. It's the natural outcome of relativity. Time and speed are intertwined. To move quickly through space is to move slowly through time. Every astronaut who orbits Earth, even for a short while, experiences this effect. They return fractionally younger than those who remained below. The difference tiny, but measurable. Every journey beyond Earth is, in its own small way, a journey into the future. Time dilation, the slowing of time due to motion or gravity, is not a trick of perception. It is the very structure of reality, adjusting to keep the laws of physics consistent for all observers. It means that the universe does not offer one single, objective timeline. Instead, it creates a web of connected experiences, each unfolding according to its own rhythm. The idea can feel dizzying, but it carries a quiet elegance. It means that every being, every star, every atom moves through its own flow of existence, all synchronized by the fabric of space-time, yet never perfectly aligned. If you could see time rather than feel it, you might imagine it as a great shimmering sea, rippling and bending around the mass of stars and planets, folding near black holes, flowing gently through the wide gaps between galaxies. Each ripple would represent a moment, a now. The closer it comes to gravity, the slower it spreads, as if the weight of matter presses upon it. The universe is a sculpture made of motion and duration. Even stillness, even rest, exists within time's quiet current. When light travels, it experiences something entirely different. To a photon, moving at the speed of light, time does not pass at all. From its perspective, the moment it is created and the moment it is absorbed are the same. It does not experience aging, or duration, or waiting. It simply exists between 2 points. The light from distant stars, traveling billions of years to reach your eyes, does not feel those years it arrives, as if in an instant. Time is something that belongs to things with mass, things that move slower than light, things like us. The stars do not grow older in their own light. We make them old by waiting for their message to arrive. And so, the night sky is not only a map of space, it is a map of time. When you look upward, you see stars as they were, not as they are. The light from some of them began its journey before humans had language, before the earth had oceans. You are surrounded by messages from the past, still arriving, still unfolding, carried by waves of light that outlast everything else. Time, it seems, is not a straight line but a tapestry woven with countless threads of memory. To rest beneath the stars is to feel that truth in your bones. The seconds passing for you are stitched into a cosmic rhythm that stretches across eternity. Somewhere near a black hole, time crawls so slowly that moments stretch into ages. Somewhere else, in the deep dark between galaxies, time rushes freely, unbound. Yet all of it, fast and slow, belongs to the same universe, the same quiet symphony of existence. So breathe, and let that thought settle within you. The seconds you live now are unique to you, shaped by the gravity of this world, by the rotation of this planet, by the path it takes around the Sunday. Every tick of the clock is part of a local truth, one thread in the infinite fabric of time. Beyond the stars, the same rhythm plays at a different tempo, but it is still the same song. You are part of it, bound by it, carried gently within its flow. Time moves differently in space, but in all its forms, it carries us together through the endless, unfolding dream of the universe. 6. Gravity connects. Everything gravity connects everything. It binds the stars to their galaxies, the planets to their suns, and the oceans to the pull of the moon. It is the reason your feet rest gently on the ground, the reason the Earth orbits the sun, and the reason galaxies swirl in their graceful spirals instead of scattering into the dark. Though invisible, gravity is the most intimate force in existence. It reaches across the cosmos without effort, threading every atom into a single, continuous whole. You feel it every moment of your life, but rarely notice it. It is the quiet sculptor of motion, the soft hand that holds the universe together. Imagine for a moment that you could see gravity not as lines of force or numbers on a chart, but as a living fabric around every planet, every star, every grain of dust. That fabric would bend and curve like a vast ocean stirred by unseen currents. The heavier the object, the deeper the curve. This is space-time, the flexible stage upon which all of existence performs its slow dance. Every movement you make, every orbit, every fall is a response to this shape. You are not pulled downward by a mysterious force. You are simply following the geometry of the world beneath you, sliding along the curves that mass creates in space and time. Gravity is not an external power, it is the shape of reality itself. When Einstein first described this idea, it changed how humanity understood the universe. For centuries, gravity had been imagined as a tug, an invisible string pulling matter together. But Einstein saw it differently. He showed that mass tells space-time how to curve, and space-time tells mass how to move. The two are inseparable, locked in a perpetual conversation. When a star forms, it presses upon the fabric of space, deepening its curvature. Planets fall into orbit not because they are pulled, but because they are moving along the straightest possible paths within that curved landscape. What we experience as weight, as falling, as orbit, is the expression of geometry made visible. The gentle pull you feel right now, keeping you connected to the Earth, is a whisper of that same cosmic structure. The same equation that governs your fall if you drop a pebble also governs the motion of entire galaxies. Gravity has no boundary between the small and the vast. It connects everything across scale and time. The tides that rise and fall along the shores each day are the Earth's surface breathing in response to the Moon's presence. The Moon itself is held in its eternal path by the Earth's own gravity, while both are tethered to the Sun, which, in turn, circles the center of our galaxy. That galaxy, too, is bound by an unseen halo of dark matter, whose gravity extends far beyond the reach of stars. The web continues outward, endlessly, a vast and silent network of connection. It is remarkable that something so powerful is also so delicate. Compared to the other forces of nature, gravity is incredibly weak. A small magnet can lift a paperclip against the pull of an entire planet, and yet, gravity dominates the universe. It is the only force that never cancels out, because it only attracts, it never repels. Every bit of matter adds its weight to the collective pull. Every atom, every grain of dust, every planet and star contributes to the grand architecture of space-time. Over cosmic distances, that cumulative effect becomes irresistible. It is what gathers gas into stars, stars into galaxies, galaxies into clusters, and clusters into the great filaments that stretch across the cosmos like glowing threads in a vast tapestry. The reach of gravity is infinite. It weakens with distance, but it never disappears. Even here, sitting quietly on Earth, you are subtly influenced by the pull of distant stars and galaxies. Their combined gravity shapes the overall curvature of the universe itself. The way light bends as it travels through space, the way it arcs around massive objects, is a direct trace of that connection. When we observe the light of a distant quasar bending around a galaxy, forming elegant rings and arcs, we are seeing the fingerprint of gravity carved across the heavens. It is as though space is a lens, and gravity is the invisible hand shaping the image. You are part of this network. Your body, though small, has mass, and therefore it curves space-time around you. Every atom within you bends the geometry of the cosmos ever so slightly. It's an almost imperceptible effect, but it exists. You are not just influenced by gravity, you create it. The space around you is shaped by your presence, the way a calm lake forms ripples around a stone. When you walk, you move within the gentle distortion you generate, your body's mass leaving tiny imprints on the geometry of the world. Even your heartbeat, your breath, your smallest motion are connected to this quiet dialogue between matter and space-time. In the grand design of the cosmos, gravity also serves as the bridge between beginnings and endings. It gathers matter to create stars and planets, and it drives their eventual collapse. When a star runs out of fuel, gravity takes over, compressing it into a dense sphere or, if massive enough, into a black hole, a place where the fabric of space-time folds inward so completely that not even light can escape. Yet even black holes are not isolated. They, too, communicate through gravity, their presence felt across billions of light years. When two of them merge, they send ripples through space-time itself, gravitational waves that stretch and compress the very shape of reality as they pass. Detected by instruments on Earth, these faint waves are the soundless echoes of the universe in motion, the heartbeat of gravity itself. There is a serenity in understanding that this force, so subtle and so omnipresent, is what holds the cosmos together. Gravity ensures coherence. It allows structure to exist at all. Without it, matter would drift endlessly apart. Stars would never ignite, planets would never form, and life would never emerge. Everything that has ever existed depends upon this quiet connection. It is the silent conversation that keeps the universe whole. Even your everyday life is a song of gravity. When you walk, you feel its steady embrace. When you drop a pebble into water, you watch it fall in perfect obedience to its curve. When you see the moon rise, you witness the pull between two worlds locked in mutual orbit. Gravity keeps your body rooted even as it turns with the spinning Earth, even as the Earth hurtles around the Sun at 19 miles per second. The rhythm of your existence is written in its language, though you rarely think about it. In a way, gravity is love, translated into physics, a constant attraction, a connection that cannot be broken by distance or silence. Every part of the universe is reaching toward every other part, quietly, persistently, without ever letting go. This pull has no malice, no urgency. It is patient beyond imagination. It does not command. It simply invites. It is the soft agreement of the cosmos to remain together, to dance forever within its own geometry. When you close your eyes tonight, gravity is still at work, cradling you gently against the Earth. It holds you in place as the planet spins, as the stars wheel overhead, as galaxies drift slowly apart in the deep, expanding dark. You are never separate from it. You are part of its endless network, connected not only to the ground beneath you, but to everything that has ever existed and everything that will ever be. The pull you feel is the same force that gathers worlds and bends light. It is the same whisper that guides comets through the outer reaches of the solar system, the same pressure that holds the sun in shape, the same curve that leads starlight to your eyes. You are not outside of gravity, you are within it, woven into its design. Every breath you take, every motion you make, is a continuation of the same pattern that binds the galaxies. And so, as you drift toward rest, imagine that connection spreading outward from you. The atoms of your body tug gently on the air, the walls, the Earth itself. The planet answers, holding you close. Beyond that, the sun holds the Earth, the galaxy holds the sun, and gravity holds it all together in an unbroken chain of attraction that stretches across eternity. You are a link in that chain, a tiny yet vital curve in the infinite fabric of existence. Gravity connects everything, and through it, you belong to the universe completely. 7. Light from distant stars is a message from the past. When you look up at the night sky, what you are seeing is not the present. It is history written in light. Every star above you, every faint shimmer scattered across the dark, is sending you a message that began its journey long ago. The starlight that meets your eyes tonight has traveled across time and distance, carrying the memory of what once was. Some of those stars may no longer exist, their fires extinguished ages ago, yet their light continues on, crossing the silent reaches of space, still arriving, still shining. In this way, the night sky is not a view of the universe as it is, but as it was a gallery of ancient light, a window into time itself. Light moves faster than anything else we know, 186,000 miles each second. It crosses the entire span of Earth in less than the blink of an eye. And yet, when the distances stretch across galaxies, even light takes time to arrive. The rays from our nearest star beyond the Sun, Proxima Centauri, take over 4 years to reach us. That means the light you see from it tonight left that star when you were still living in a different moment of your own life. If you look at a galaxy a million light years away, you are seeing it as it was a million years ago. Look deeper, at the faintest smudges of light captured by telescopes, and you see back billions of years to a time when galaxies were young, when the first stars were just beginning to burn. The universe has no mirrors showing us its present. It shows us only its past, illuminated by the patient work of light. Every photon, every beam of radiance, carries a story. It is born deep within a star, in the chaos of fusion, where atoms collide and merge under immense heat and pressure. It bounces around inside for thousands, sometimes millions of years, before escaping into open space. Once free, it travels in a straight line forever, unless gravity bends its path. Through cosmic dust, through nebulae, through entire galaxies, these tiny packets of energy continue their journey. Some pass unnoticed into darkness, others fall upon distant worlds, and a rare few, after eons of travel, end their voyage in the fragile eyes of a living creature looking upward. In that instant, their journey ends, and their message is received. When you look at the night sky, you are catching the final moment of that journey. The light has crossed unimaginable distances and timescales to reach you. The stars you see are messengers from across the ages. Their glow the language of the cosmos. The night sky is not static, it is a vast communication, an endless transmission from the past, whispering stories of creation, change, and endurance. The faint blue of a young star tells of new beginnings. The red of an old giant speaks of endings and transformation. The color, brightness, and flicker of each point of light carry encoded details about its origin, its distance, and its fate. The entire universe is writing itself in this radiance, continuously, patiently, beautifully. Some of the light you see began its journey before the Earth even existed. The oldest starlight we can detect, cosmic microwave radiation, dates back to nearly the beginning of time, about 13.8 billion years ago. It is the afterglow of the Big Bang, the first light to ever shine, stretched and softened by the expansion of space, until it now bathes the universe as a faint microwave hum. It fills everything, every corner, every empty space, reminding us that even darkness is full of memory. When scientists map this ancient light, they see the faint imprints of the earliest moments of the cosmos, the birthmarks of creation itself. It is, in a very real sense, the oldest message we have ever received. The concept that light shows us the past is more than poetic. It is a deep physical truth. Because light has a finite speed, distance and time are forever linked. To look out is to look back. The farther you gaze, the older the story becomes. The stars in the nearest constellations shine from a few hundred years ago. The glow of distant galaxies shows us light that began its journey before the first humans walked the Earth. When you stare into the faintest edge of what a telescope can see, you are witnessing the cosmos as it was, billions of years before you existed. In that light is the history of everything, the formation of atoms, the gathering of matter, the rise of structure from chaos. And what is most humbling is that your own light is also traveling outward. Every moment, photons reflect from your skin, scatter from your eyes, drift upward into the sky. Those photons, too, will travel through space indefinitely. In a distant future, perhaps long after the Earth is gone, some of that light may fall upon another world, another eye, another observer. In that faint shimmer, they would see you not as you are, but as you were. In this way, you too are part of the sky's story, a contributor to the endless exchange of light and time. Light is more than illumination, it is memory made visible. It preserves the past, not through words, but through existence itself. The glow of a distant star is a frozen moment, an image of what once was, traveling forward through eternity. Every sunrise on Earth is made of light that has crossed 93 million miles from the sun, taking just over 8 minutes to arrive. The warmth you feel on your skin in the morning is a memory of the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. The light that glints on oceans and leaves, that scatters into the colors of the sky, is part of that same exchange, ancient energy meeting the present world. There's a soft kind of comfort in knowing that the universe keeps such careful records. Nothing that shines is ever lost immediately. Even when a star dies, its light continues outward, carrying the record of its life for millions of years after it has gone dark. The light of supernovae explosions so bright they outshine entire galaxies travels across the ages, marking moments of transformation. When we see those flashes, we are witnessing both an ending and a beginning. The remnants of those explosions become the seeds of new stars, new planets, new forms of life. Even in death, the stars continue to communicate. If you were to step outside on a clear night, far from the noise of cities, and let your eyes adjust to the darkness, you would begin to see what our ancestors saw: the same lights, the same messages, arriving across the same endless expanse. Those photons have been falling on this planet since before there were humans to see them. They fell on the oceans before the first fish swam. They touched the forests before the first birds flew. And now, they fall on you. You are part of a lineage of receivers in an unbroken chain that stretches back to the dawn of consciousness. Every generation of life that looked upward became part of the conversation between light and awareness. So when you gaze at the stars, know that you are looking through time. The universe is not distant, it is unfolding right now, across the vast river of light that connects every moment to every other. The past, the present, and the future are bound together by these luminous threads, weaving a single, continuous tapestry of existence. In this way, every night sky is both ancient and new. The light is old, but the seeing of it is now. The universe is giving you something timeless and immediate, all at once, a glimpse of eternity made personal. It does not matter how far away those stars are, or how long their messages have traveled. What matters is that you are here to witness them, to let them fill your mind with quiet wonder. Perhaps that is what the stars are really saying, not just that they exist, but that you do too. The light they send across time and distance is an invitation, a gentle reminder that all things are connected through the act of shining, through the act of being seen. The universe speaks to you in starlight, and in your gaze, it finds its reflection. You are not just looking into the past, you are completing the message, adding your own presence to the great story of light. And as you drift toward rest, remember this: the glow above you is not gone. It is still traveling, still arriving, still speaking across eternity, and tonight, its words have reached you. 8. The cosmic microwave background is the universe's faint whisper. Long before there were stars or galaxies, before there was darkness or light in any familiar sense, the universe was a brilliant, glowing sea of energy. It was dense, hot, and uniform, a vast ocean of particles and radiation, endlessly colliding, scattering, and exchanging energy. In that early era, about 380,000 years after the Big Bang, light could not yet travel freely. Photons, the smallest packets of light, were constantly absorbed and re-emitted by matter, caught in an eternal fog. The universe was bright, but no light could escape. It was as though the cosmos were wrapped in its own glowing cocoon, still waiting to be born into transparency. Then, slowly, the temperature fell. The expansion of space caused the universe to cool, until the particles of matter could finally bind together into simple atoms, hydrogen and helium, the first ingredients of everything that would ever exist. When that happened, the fog lifted. Light was released. The photons that had been trapped for eons were finally free to travel through space, unobstructed. That moment, the moment when the universe became transparent, left behind a faint glow, a soft afterlight that still fills the cosmos today. We call it the cosmic microwave background, or the CMB. It is the oldest light in existence, the whisper of creation itself, stretched across all of space like a memory too vast to fade. This light is everywhere. It passes through you now, gently, invisibly. It comes from every direction, uniform and ancient, with only the faintest variations, tiny ripples that mark where the first structures of the universe began. If you could see microwave radiation with your eyes, the night sky would not be dark. It would glow with a dim, golden haze, a reminder that the universe is not silent or cold, but still humming softly with the energy of its own birth. Every inch of space, every corner of emptiness, carries this quiet warmth, a cosmic echo of the time when everything was one. The cosmic microwave background is not just a relic. It is a map of the universe's infancy. When scientists first detected it, accidentally, in 1965, they had no idea what they were hearing. Two radio astronomers, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, were trying to tune a large antenna in New Jersey. No matter where they pointed it, they heard the same faint hiss, steady, uniform, unchanging. They thought it was noise, perhaps from the city or from birds nesting in the equipment. But when they cleaned it, calibrated it, and still heard that gentle background sound, they realized they had stumbled upon something far greater. They were listening to the remnant of the Big Bang itself, a signal that had traveled for nearly 14 billion years to reach their ears. That faint hiss, the softest murmur of radiation, is the universe's first light, stretched into microwaves by the expansion of space. What was once a blinding glow of ultraviolet energy has cooled to just a few degrees above absolute zero. Yet it is still there, unbroken, unchanged, filling everything that exists. The CMB is a record of what the cosmos looked like when it was very young, a nearly perfect uniformity with small imperfections, the seeds from which galaxies and stars would eventually grow. Those tiny ripples of density, fractions of a degree, barely perceptible, became the scaffolding of all cosmic structure. Without them, there would be no galaxies, no planets, no life. It is humbling to think that the faint warmth that surrounds you, imperceptible to your senses, is the oldest light in existence. It is not the light of any star or planet, but the light of the universe itself, echoing through time. This radiation has been traveling since the cosmos was less than 500,000 years old. In human terms, it is like hearing the first cry of a newborn that has since grown into everything. The CMB is that cry, still reverberating through the silence of space, reminding us that all of creation began in a single luminous breath. If you could listen to it not as microwaves but as sound, you would hear something like a low, constant hum, a background tone with gentle fluctuations. Scientists have converted the data into audible frequencies, and the result is haunting. A soft, deep vibration, like the resonance of wind over mountains. It is the sound of the cosmos expanding, cooling, and forming structure. It is not random noise. It carries patterns, harmonics, subtle echoes of the earliest motions in existence. The universe, it turns out, has a rhythm, a pulse, and this ancient whisper is its first heartbeat. And yet, despite its vast importance, the CMB is delicate beyond imagining. Its temperature is only 2.725 degrees above absolute zero, just a trace of warmth left from the furnace of creation. The entire universe has been cooling ever since, and this background light has stretched and dimmed as space itself expanded. Every second, the wavelengths of that ancient radiation grow a little longer, the energy a little weaker. In the far future, when the universe has grown far colder and larger still, the CMB will fade further into invisibility. But even then, it will remain a faint imprint in the very fabric of space-time, the ghost of the beginning. To look upon a map of the cosmic microwave background is to see a portrait of the infant universe. It is not smooth, but mottled tiny spots of slightly warmer or cooler radiation, each marking a region of slightly higher or lower density. These variations, though small, determined everything. Where there was just a little more matter, gravity gathered it together. forming the first stars, the first galaxies, the first clusters. Where there was less, voids opened, vast and silent. The CMB is the blueprint from which the cosmos grew. When you gaze at the stars today, you are looking at the descendants of those ancient ripples, the matured forms of structures born from the faintest fluctuations in that primordial light. It is remarkable to think that we are capable of seeing it, that humans, tiny beings on a small world, can capture light that has been traveling since time itself began. The instruments that map the CMB, like the Planck satellite or the Wilkinson microwave anisotropy probe, are like telescopes turned not just through space, but through time. They let us peer into the earliest dawn, before stars, before galaxies, before anything that could cast a shadow. In that light, we see the universe as it once was, pure energy, pure potential, pure possibility. And within that light, there is something almost spiritual, a sense of continuity that binds everything that exists. The same photons that emerged when the universe first became transparent are still moving through us, through our atmosphere, through the spaces between our thoughts. We are not separate from the cosmos's birth. We are still inside its unfolding, still part of that same expansion that began in fire and has cooled into this vast, quiet beauty. The CMB is not just a relic of the past, it is a reminder that the past is not gone. It continues, woven into the present moment, humming softly beneath everything that exists. As you rest beneath the stars, that ancient light flows through you unnoticed. It has traveled across eternity to arrive here, gentle and unassuming. It carries the memory of when everything began, the first warmth, the first freedom, the first whisper of being. It does not shout, it does not fade, it simply is, infinite and patient, a background hum that holds the entire story of the cosmos within its quiet tone. In this way, the cosmic microwave background is not only a scientific discovery, but a lullaby for the universe itself, a faint and eternal whisper saying, "I am still here." When you close your eyes tonight, that same radiation will pass through you, just as it has passed through every star, every planet, every being that has ever existed. You are part of the light's journey, a brief flicker within its endless travel. The universe still carries its first breath, and in that breath, you, too, are remembered. 9. Most of the universe is invisible. When we look at the night sky, we see so much, and yet it is almost nothing at all. The stars that shine, the galaxies that spiral, the glowing clouds of nebulae, all of these make up only a tiny fraction of what exists. The rest, the great majority, lies hidden. The universe is not made primarily of light or matter as we know it. It is composed of mysteries, dark matter and dark energy, forms of existence we cannot see, cannot touch, and yet feel in every motion of the cosmos. More than 95% of the universe is invisible, its essence veiled behind a curtain of silence. And though we cannot perceive it directly, its presence shapes everything we know. When you gaze upward and see the countless stars, you are seeing only the thinest surface of reality, the light that reaches your eyes, the visible matter that forms the stars and planets, and everything tangible, makes up less than 5% of the total content of the universe. The rest lies beyond the reach of our senses. Astronomers have learned this not by sight, but by consequence, by watching how galaxies move, how light bends, how the universe expands. Something unseen is guiding those motions, something massive and constant. We call it dark matter, not because it is black, but because it does not interact with light. It neither absorbs nor emits it. It is transparent, invisible, silent, and yet it outweighs all visible matter combined. The discovery of dark matter began, as so many discoveries do, with a question. In the early 20th century, astronomers noticed that galaxies did not behave as expected. When they measured the rotation of spiral galaxies, they found that the stars at their edges moved too fast. According to the visible amount of mass, those outer stars should have been flung into space, unable to remain bound, but they stayed. They orbited steadily, as if an unseen hand held them in place. That invisible hand was gravity, but not the gravity of what could be seen. There had to be something else, an unseen mass extending far beyond the luminous stars, forming a halo of invisible material that anchored the galaxy together. Over time, the evidence grew undeniable. Galaxy clusters, too, moved as though filled with invisible mass. Light from distant galaxies bent as it passed through these clusters, distorted by gravitational lensing in ways that visible matter alone could not explain. The pattern was consistent everywhere. The universe, it seemed, was filled with something invisible but immense. Though we cannot see dark matter, we can trace its shape by its influence. It forms a cosmic web that stretches across the universe, vast filaments of unseen material upon which galaxies are strung like beads of light. Where dark matter gathers densely, galaxies form and thrive. Where it is absent, there is only emptiness. Without it, the structure of the universe would collapse. And yet, for all we have learned, dark matter remains an enigma. We do not know what it is made of. It may consist of undiscovered particles, passing through everything around us, even our bodies, without leaving a trace. Billions of them could be moving through you right now, silently, invisibly, without ever interacting with the atoms that compose your skin. It is everywhere, and yet nowhere. Its existence is certain, but its nature is still beyond our understanding. It is as if the universe keeps a secret, and we live within it. But dark matter, vast as it is only part of the mystery. The greater part of the cosmos is made of something even more elusive, dark energy. If dark matter holds the universe together, dark energy drives it apart. It is the quiet force behind the accelerating expansion of space itself. For decades, scientists assumed that gravity, the great binding force, would slow the universe's expansion over time. But when they measured distant supernovae in the 1,990 seconds, they found the opposite. The expansion was speeding up, as if pushed by an invisible pressure. That push, omnipresent and uniform, is what we call dark energy. It accounts for nearly 70% of everything that exists. Dark energy is not a substance in the traditional sense. It is not something that fills space, it is a property of space itself. As the universe expands, there is more of it. The more space there is, the more energy there is to push that space outward, creating an endless feedback of growth. This is why galaxies are drifting apart faster and faster. One day, those farthest from us will disappear entirely, their light stretched beyond visibility, their presence lost to time. The universe is not static, it is swelling, and that expansion is written into the invisible architecture of reality. It can be humbling, even unsettling, to realize that nearly everything we know is made of what we cannot perceive. The stars that burn, the planets that spin, the people who think and dream, all of this brilliant, visible matter is just the thin foam atop an invisible ocean. And yet, there is beauty in that realization. The universe is larger than we can comprehend, and mystery is its most natural state. We live not in a cosmos of light alone, but in one balanced between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknowable. The darkness does not erase the light, it gives it shape. It gives it meaning. In a sense, dark matter and dark energy are the quiet counterparts of everything we can touch. They remind us that visibility is not existence. The world around you, the stars above, are only one expression of a vast continuum. The unseen mass that holds galaxies together also holds us in the web of the universe. The same hidden energy that drives galaxies apart drives time itself forward. You are made of matter that glows, but you are also surrounded, cradled, and guided by matter and energy that do not. We live suspended between illumination and obscurity, between what we can measure and what we can only sense through its effects. Even now, as you read this, dark matter flows through you like a slow tide. It is not a metaphor, but a physical truth. The Earth moves through a halo of it as it orbits the Sunday. Every second, trillions of invisible particles pass through our planet without slowing, untouched by our matter, unseen by our eyes. They are there, silent and constant, part of the same structure that holds the stars in their courses. You are inside that invisible sea, resting within the quiet gravity of something greater than light. And beyond even that, dark energy continues its patient work, expanding the universe, stretching time and distance, ensuring that creation never truly ends. In billions of years, the stars will fade, galaxies will drift apart, and the visible universe will grow dark. But the unseen will remain. The quiet forces that guide everything will continue their slow, invisible song. The cosmos will still be expanding, still changing, still alive in ways beyond our understanding. When you look at the night sky, remember that the darkness you see is not absence. It is presence of a deeper kind. It is filled with energy, with matter, with history. The stars are the bright notes, but the darkness is the symphony beneath them, the silent structure upon which all light depends. Most of the universe is invisible, and yet, without that hidden world, nothing could exist at all. So breathe and feel that truth within you. You are surrounded by the unseen. You are held within its quiet gravity. Your life one brief spark within a greater and endless field of mystery. You are part of both the visible and the invisible, the light and the dark. The stars may be what you see, but the darkness between them is what holds them in place. And as you drift towards sleep, you can rest in that knowledge that even what cannot be seen still carries you, still shapes you, still connects you to everything that ever was. 10. Stars sing with light instead of sound. In the silence of space, there is a music that no ear can hear. It does not travel through air or water or stone, but through light itself. The stars, those distant furnaces of fire and gravity, are not silent. They sing not with sound waves, but with vibrations of light, energy, and plasma that ripple through their vast, glowing bodies. Each star has its own rhythm, its own tone, its own quiet signature in the spectrum of the cosmos. To us, they seem still and steady, but within them, they are alive with motion pulsing, trembling, oscillating like immense, radiant instruments. The universe is full of these invisible songs, the quiet symphony of starlight resonating across eternity. A star is not static, it breathes in its own way. Inside its core, nuclear fusion converts hydrogen into helium, releasing vast amounts of energy. This energy moves outward through the star's layers, causing them to expand, cool, and contract again. The process repeats endlessly, like the inhaling and exhaling of a great celestial lung. These fluctuations create waves, vibrations that travel through the star's interior, changing its brightness and color ever so slightly. Though no human ear could ever hear them, these are the star's songs, its natural harmonics echoing across millions of miles. Astronomers study these vibrations through a field called asteroseismology, the science of listening to stars. They measure the subtle flickers of light, the faint changes in brightness that occur as the star's surface moves up and down, expanding and contracting in rhythm. Just as seismologists study earthquakes to understand Earth's interior, asteroseismologists study the vibrations of stars to understand what lies within them. Each oscillation, each pattern of light, reveals something about the star's temperature, density, and age. The music of a star is not random, it is a coded message, a hymn that describes its structure and life. The sun, too, is singing. Its light flickers with oscillations waves that travel through it like ripples across a pond. These waves are caused by hot plasma rising and cooler plasma sinking, a never-ending cycle of convection and fusion. Though we cannot hear it directly, scientists have translated the sun's vibrations into sound frequencies we can understand. The result is haunting a deep, resonant hum, like the voice of something ancient and patient. It is steady, powerful, and oddly soothing. The sun's song vibrates through the solar system, through space, through every living thing that depends on its light. Every star sings differently. The small, cool red dwarfs hum softly, their songs slow and gentle, while giant stars roar with deep, low vibrations that can last for hours. Some stars pulse regularly, expanding and contracting with perfect precision, like the ticking of a cosmic clock. These are called variable stars, and their steady rhythm helps astronomers measure distance across the universe. The most famous among them are Cepheid variables, whose brightness waxes and wanes in predictable cycles. By studying their pulses, scientists can calculate how far away they are, using their song as a cosmic ruler. In this way, the music of the stars has become a language, a means of understanding the size, shape, and age of the universe itself. Even the dead stars sing in their own way. When a massive star dies, it can collapse into a neutron star, a city-sized sphere of incredible density. These objects spin rapidly, sometimes hundreds of times per second, emitting beams of radiation that sweep across the cosmos. Each rotation sends out a rhythmic pulse, like a cosmic metronome. These pulsars, as they are called, beat with perfect precision. Their timing so accurate that scientists use them as natural clocks, more stable than anything humans can build. The universe, even in its endings, keeps time through music. If you could listen to the symphony of all the stars at once, it would be a sound beyond comprehension. The combined vibrations of trillions of stars, each with its own frequency, would form an ocean of tones spanning all possible harmonics. It would not be loud, it would be subtle, infinite, and serene. It would sound like stillness woven with motion, like light transformed into melody. In truth, we are bathed in this music at all times, though our senses cannot perceive it. The light that fills the sky, the cosmic radiation that surrounds us, even the faint hum of the universe's background, all carry traces of these celestial notes. There is poetry in this realization that the universe sings in silence. The stars do not need air or ears to create music. They simply exist, and in their existence, they resonate. Every vibration, every oscillation, is part of the grand harmony that connects all things. The same physics that makes stars sing also govern the vibrations within atoms, the oscillations of molecules, the beating of your heart. The rhythm that moves through you is not separate from the rhythm that moves through the cosmos. You are part of the same pattern, the same endless flow of energy transformed into motion and light. If you could slow time and stretch perception, you might feel it, the deep, slow pulse of the universe. Every star's vibration would blend into a vast, collective hum, like the sound of wind moving through eternity. The galaxies themselves would contribute to the symphony. Clusters orbiting, black holes merging, light bending and scattering through the invisible structures of dark matter. It is a music without beginning or end, without silence or noise, just the pure continuity of motion, of transformation. On Earth, we have tried to echo this cosmic rhythm in our own ways. The instruments we build, the songs we sing, the harmonies we compose, all are small reflections of the universe's deeper cadence. Music is humanity's attempt to mirror the cosmos, to give shape to something we can sense but not see. When a voice rises in song, when strings vibrate, when a note fills a quiet room, we are participating in the same principle that makes stars tremble and light oscillate. Every tone, every chord, is an echo of that larger harmony. The idea that stars sing with light instead of sound reminds us that the universe does not need to be loud to be expressive. Its silence is not emptiness, but depth. Its calm is not absence, but balance. The stars shine because they must, and in their shining, they vibrate, sending their energy outward into the infinite. Each photon they release carries not just warmth and illumination, but rhythm, tiny fluctuations that, when combined, form the grand chorus of existence. If you stand beneath the open sky and close your eyes, you may begin to feel it, the faint vibration of everything. The earth hums softly under your feet. The air moves gently against your skin. The starlight falls upon you, silently but persistently. You are surrounded by resonance, by frequency, by the quiet singing of light. The stars do not need to be heard to be understood. Their song is written in their brightness, in their color, in the patterns they cast across the heavens, and as you breathe, you are part of it. The atoms in your body vibrate with their own frequencies, each one singing the same laws of physics that guide the stars. You are not outside the music, you are within it. The light that left a star long before your birth now touches you, becomes part of your sight, your thought, your being. You are the continuation of its journey, the instrument through which the universe listens to its own song. So when you look at the stars tonight, remember, they are not silent. They are singing endlessly, with waves of light and energy that fill every corner of space. Their songs are ancient and precise, woven into the structure of time itself. The universe is alive with this quiet music, a symphony that never began and will never end. You are one of its notes, glowing softly, listening gently, part of the eternal song that the stars are still singing in the dark. 11. Black holes can dance. There are places in the universe where light itself cannot escape. Regions so dense, so perfectly curved, that even time seems to pause before them. We call them black holes, but they are not holes in the prosodid, the ordinary sense. They are the deepest notes in the cosmic symphony, the invisible hearts of galaxies, the places where space and time entwine in an endless waltz. And though they are known for consuming everything that crosses their boundaries, black holes are not silent or still. They move, they spin, and when they meet, they dance the most powerful and graceful dance the universe has ever known. Every black hole begins with a death. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it collapses under its own gravity. The fusion in its core, which once held it up, fades, and the inward pull becomes irresistible. The outer layers explode outward as a supernova, scattering elements into space, but the core implodes. Matter is crushed into a single, unimaginably dense point called a singularity. Around it forms an event horizon, the surface beyond which nothing can return. It is not a physical wall, but a boundary in space-time, a place where escape becomes impossible. Yet what remains is not an end. It is the beginning of something entirely new, a region where the laws of physics stretch and twist into beauty. Though black holes are invisible, their presence is betrayed by motion. Stars orbit around them, light bends near them, and gas spirals inward in luminous hurls, heating until it glows brighter than galaxies. Around the largest black holes, these spiraling disks of matter, the accretion disks, radiate with X-rays and light, marking the invisible like halos of fire. And deep within galaxies, where supermassive black holes rest, entire star systems move to their rhythm. They are the unseen centers of motion, the gravitational hearts around which everything else orbits. But the most extraordinary sight occurs when two black holes find each other. Over time, drawn by gravity, they spiral closer together, circling in an ever-tightening embrace. They do not collide violently as one might imagine. Instead, they move in perfect rhythm, spinning around a shared center, warping space and time with each turn. The energy of their motion ripples outward as gravitational waves, subtle vibrations in space-time itself. These waves spread through the universe like the surface of a pond, disturbed by a single drop. Though they are faint, they carry the record of that dance across billions of years. When two black holes merge, they release more energy in a fraction of a second than all the stars in the observable universe emit in light during the same time. Yet to us, that energy arrives as silence, not in sound or light, but as a trembling of space-time. Instruments like LIGO and Virgo on Earth have learned to listen to these cosmic dances. They record the faint signals of black holes spiraling together, their frequencies rising as they draw near, until at last they merge into one. The resulting waveform, a brief chirp in the detectors, is the echo of that union, a fleeting record of two titans becoming one. The first time scientists heard this, in 2015, it was a revelation. For the first time, humanity was not only seeing the universe through light, but feeling it through gravity. It was as if the cosmos itself had begun to hum to us directly, vibrating through the fabric of existence. That signal, so brief and faint, came from two black holes colliding over 1 billion years ago. When the event occurred, Earth was still a young planet, and life was just beginning its long journey toward consciousness. Yet the waves from that ancient dance traveled all this way, unbroken, to be received by us, a moment of connection across time and creation. Black holes do not merely fall together, they also spin. Some rotate so quickly that the fabric of space near them twists, dragging everything along in what is called frame dragging. If you could orbit one, you would be swept into its spin, carried around by the sheer rotation of space-time. In binary systems, where two black holes orbit each other, their spins can align or oppose, changing the nature of their dance. Sometimes they move together gracefully, synchronized in motion. Sometimes their spins oppose, creating complex, twisting orbits that defy simple prediction. Yet always, they follow the geometry of Einstein's equations, a choreography written by gravity itself. This dance is not confined to pairs. The centers of galaxies are filled with black holes of all sizes, orbiting, colliding, merging, and reforming. Over billions of years, they build larger and larger structures, supermassive black holes with masses millions or billions of times that of the Sunday. When two galaxies merge, as they often do, their central black holes eventually meet, beginning another slow, elegant spiral. These mergers shape the evolution of galaxies, redistributing stars and gas, triggering waves of star formation. The dance of black holes is not destructive chaos, it is creation in motion, the universe sculpting itself through rhythm and gravity. To imagine them dancing is not just poetic, it is true. The ripples they send through space-time oscillate like music, each pair producing its own signature tone. Scientists call this the gravitational wave spectrum, a range of frequencies that, if translated into sound, resemble notes and harmonies. Smaller black holes sing in higher pitches, while the giants at galactic centers emit deeper, slower waves, like bass notes reverberating through the universe. If we could listen with the right senses, the cosmos would be filled with this deep, resonant song, the ongoing chorus of black holes in motion. There is a strange beauty in how something that consumes everything can also give so much. Black holes are not empty voids, they are engines of transformation. The matter that falls toward them is heated and accelerated, releasing light and energy that illuminate galaxies. The jets that shoot from their poles, powered by magnetic fields near the event horizon, can stretch for thousands of light years, carrying matter and radiation into intergalactic space. Through their motion, their spin, and their mergers, black holes influence the structure of the cosmos itself. They are the quiet architects of galaxies, shaping the universe through their gravity and their dance. Even at the smallest scale, their motion continues. The merger of two black holes does not end in stillness. The new, larger black hole that forms oscillates briefly, ringing like a struck bell as it settles into its final shape. These oscillations, too, emit gravitational waves fainter, but rich with information. In them, scientists can read the properties of the new black hole, its mass, its spin, its symmetry. The echoes fade quickly, but they leave behind an indelible mark in space-time, the memory of movement frozen into the universe's geometry. In the end, perhaps the most profound truth is that even the darkest places in existence are not without motion, not without grace. Black holes, often seen as symbols of destruction, are in fact part of a larger harmony. They dance because the universe itself is fluid, dynamic, alive. Gravity is their music, and through it, they communicate across cosmic distances. Their unions and separations, their spins and waves, are the steps in an eternal waltz that has been going on since the first stars died. When you close your eyes and imagine them, two black spheres circling, spiraling closer, warping the fabric of time, it is like watching creation and dissolution intertwined. There is no violence there, only inevitability, only beauty. The energy they release, the waves they send, ripple through you even now, passing unnoticed through your body, through the earth, through everything that exists. You are, in a small and wondrous way, a participant in their dance, feeling the universe's quiet rhythm without ever realizing it. So rest with that thought, the idea that even in darkness there is movement, and in silence there is music. Black holes may hide their light, but they do not erase it. They are part of the cosmic choreography that keeps the universe alive, graceful, and forever in motion. Their dance is the universe remembering itself, turning endlessly in a rhythm so vast and soft that only gravity can hear it, and yet it moves through us all. 12. Some stars live for trillions of years. In the endless rhythm of the universe, some stars burn briefly, and others linger for almost eternity. The cosmos is filled with every tempo of light, from the quick, violent brilliance of massive stars that flare and die within millions of years, to the quiet, enduring glow of small stars that will outlive galaxies themselves. The universe, as we know it, is young in cosmic terms, barely a fraction into its lifespan, and yet even now, there are stars whose lives will stretch across trillions of years. Long after our sun fades, long after the Milky Way's spirals have dissolved into the expanding dark, these stars will still shine, patient and steady, carrying the last embers of light through an aging universe. These stars are the red dwarfs, the most common stars in existence, though rarely seen with the naked eye. They are small, cool, and dim, glowing with a soft red or orange hue, their light too faint to pierce the human night unaided. But what they lack in brightness, they make up for in endurance. A red dwarf burns its fuel with extraordinary care. Its mass is low, often just a fraction of the sun's, and that makes its fusion slow, methodical, and efficient. While our sun consumes its hydrogen quickly and will live for about 10 billion years in total, a red dwarf can last 1,000 times longer. The smallest of them may burn for over 10 trillion years, so long that not a single one has ever died. The universe itself has not yet existed long enough for even one red dwarf to reach the end of its life. To imagine a star living for trillions of years is to imagine time beyond all human meaning. 1 trillion years is 1,000 billion, a number that defies our sense of duration. The Earth is only 4.5 billion years old. Life arose within the last few hundred million. Humanity's entire history occupies less than a heartbeat on that scale. Yet these quiet stars will persist through ages upon ages, shining through cosmic epochs we cannot name. They will watch the expansion of the universe as galaxies drift apart and the night sky grows ever darker. They will see the stars we know fade and die, one by one, until they are among the last lights remaining. In their patience, red dwarfs reveal something profound about endurance. Their smallness is their strength. Massive stars, driven by gravity and pressure, burn through their fuel with ferocity. They live like comets, brilliant, brief, and unstoppable. But the red dwarfs, with their gentle hearts, sip their hydrogen slowly. Their cores are fully convective, meaning that fuel from the outer layers continually circulates inward, and nothing is wasted. Where larger stars have internal boundaries and unused reserves, red dwarfs burn evenly throughout, their energy balanced, their pace unhurried. It is a kind of cosmic mindfulness, the art of existing long by doing little. These stars are everywhere, scattered throughout every galaxy. Though unseen, they are the true backbone of the cosmos. About 3/4 of all stars are red dwarfs, hidden among the bright giants we see from Earth. They host planets, too many of them rocky, many within their habitable zones. Some astronomers believe that most of the life that will ever exist in the universe will do so around such stars, because their long lifespans give life endless time to begin, evolve, and endure. If civilizations ever rise among their planets, they could look up at a sun that will never die in their lifetimes, a constant warmth across trillions of years. Theirs would be a world where time itself feels infinite. Our own sun, though stable and luminous, is a brief candle in comparison. In about 5 billion years, it will exhaust its hydrogen and swell into a red giant, consuming the inner planets before collapsing into a white dwarf, a small hot remnant that will slowly cool and fade. But the red dwarfs will continue. When our star has been gone for 10 times that span, they will still burn. When the Milky Way merges with Andromeda, reshaping the night sky, they will still burn. When the great clusters of galaxies drift beyond each other's reach and the universe grows cold and sparse, they will still burn. There will come a time, far beyond human reckoning, when even these quiet stars begin to dim. After trillions of years, they will exhaust their hydrogen, and their light will fade to a deep, invisible ember. They will cool into black dwarfs, hypothetical objects that do not yet exist because the universe is not old enough for them to have formed. A black dwarf would be a star that has fallen into eternal slumber, radiating no light, no warmth, just a memory of what once was. In that distant future, when the last red dwarfs flicker out, the universe will enter what physicists call the degenerate era, a time of darkness where no new light is born. And yet, even then, the atoms forged in those stars will continue to drift, to gather, to whisper the history of creation. There is something peaceful in this vision, not tragic, but serene. The long lives of red dwarfs remind us that the universe is not a place of only destruction and chaos. It is also a place of endurance, patience, and quiet persistence. It values both brilliance and longevity, both the flash of the supernova and the slow glow of the everlasting. In their dim light, we see the balance of existence, how even the smallest, faintest things can outlast the grand and the bright. If you could visit one of these stars, it would not dazzle your eyes. It would rise in the sky as a dull ember, casting a twilight glow over its worlds. The day would feel eternal, the warmth steady but soft. There would be no fierce noons or sudden dawns, only an endless, gentle light. Around such a sun, time itself might feel slower, less urgent, as though the universe had learned to breathe differently. On worlds like these, evolution would have the patience of the cosmos. Civilizations could rise and fall countless times without their star ever changing. It would be a steady companion, a symbol of constancy amid the flux of everything else. In the far future, when all bright stars have died, when galaxies have thinned and time has stretched so far that even memory fades, the red dwarfs will still be burning softly, their light reaching no one but themselves. And in that distant age, the universe will still have a pulse. Their faint glow will be the last warmth, the last rhythm in the great cosmic song. They will be the caretakers of light, the quiet witnesses to eternity. It is humbling to think that these small, unseen stars may live longer than time as we understand it. They remind us that life, too, comes in many tempos, that brilliance is not the only form of beauty, that longevity has its own grace. The red dwarfs are the patient hearts of the cosmos, beating slowly, endlessly, through eras when everything else has passed away. When you look up at the night sky, the stars that shimmer above are only a fraction of what exists. Beyond them, hidden in the shadows, billions of red dwarfs are glowing softly, their light too dim to reach you, their lives unfolding in silence. They do not call for attention. They simply continue, unhurried, unwavering, constant. They are the quiet proof that the universe, even in its vastness, values endurance as much as brilliance. And perhaps that is a lesson written in the language of light, that the longest lives are not the loudest, that the most enduring warmth comes from those who burn gently. The red dwarfs will see the end of all things, and even then, they will glow, carrying forward the memory of creation, one slow heartbeat at a time. When all other stars have gone, their dim radiance will remain, a soft echo of the universe's first light, reminding the cosmos, even in its twilight, that it once was bright. 13. There are clouds of alcohol in space, drifting between the stars, in the deep, cold darkness, where light is faint and time feels endless. There are clouds of invisible chemistry, vast molecular nebulae, made not of fire or light, but of gas, dust, and organic compounds. Some of these clouds shimmer faintly when illuminated by nearby stars. Others lie hidden, cloaked in the long wavelengths of radio waves. Within these clouds, among the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms, lie the same molecules that make up much of life on Earth: water, methane, ammonia, formaldehyde, and curiously, alcohol. Not in the form of a drink or a bottle, but as simple ethyl alcohol molecules drifting freely through interstellar space, scattered like cosmic mist across trillions of miles. It sounds almost whimsical, the idea that space itself contains alcohol, but it is true. These molecules, made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, form naturally in the cold depths between stars. There, at temperatures close to absolute zero, atoms meet and combine upon the icy surfaces of dust grains, joining into complex organic molecules under the influence of radiation. Over millions of years, they accumulate and spread, forming immense clouds that can stretch for light years across. The largest of these is known as Sagittarius B2, a vast molecular cloud near the center of our galaxy, about 390 light-years wide. Within it, astronomers have detected enormous quantities of ethanol, billions upon billions of liters of it, alongside more exotic organic compounds, all suspended in the cosmic dark. Of course, no one could drink this interstellar alcohol. It is dispersed in gas form, mixed with other chemicals in concentrations far too faint for any taste or scent to register. but its presence carries a deeper meaning. It tells us that the universe, even in its most remote and frozen corners, is a place of chemistry, a laboratory on a scale beyond imagining. The same processes that form alcohol molecules out there also form amino acids, sugars, and the building blocks of life. These clouds are not mere curiosities. They are the wombs of creation, seeding galaxies with the ingredients that will one day become planets, oceans, and living beings. When astronomers first discovered alcohol in space, it was by listening rather than seeing. Radio telescopes, which detect waves of invisible light, picked up the faint signatures of molecules vibrating and rotating in characteristic ways. Each type of molecule leaves its own pattern, a spectral fingerprint written in the fabric of light. Ethanol, methanol, and other organic compounds all reveal themselves through these subtle imprints. By comparing these fingerprints to laboratory data on Earth, scientists can identify what exists in those distant clouds. The result is a map not just of matter, but of the universe's chemistry, showing that the cosmos is far more complex and fertile than we once imagined. In Sagittarius B2, the quantities are staggering. Astronomers estimate that the cloud contains enough alcohol to fill 400 trillion pints of beer, an ocean of molecules floating freely through the galactic center. And yet, this abundance is not confined to one place. Similar molecules have been found throughout our Milky Way and in galaxies beyond. Methanol, a simpler alcohol, is especially common. It forms easily in cold interstellar environments and acts as a chemical stepping stone for more complex organics. In some regions, methanol masers, natural amplifiers of microwave radiation, shine brightly, their emissions marking areas where new stars are being born. That connection between alcohol and starbirth is poetic and real. These molecular clouds, rich with alcohol and other organic compounds, are the cradles of stars. Within them, gravity gathers dust and gas into dense knots that eventually ignite into starlight. Around those newborn suns, disks of leftover material flatten and swirl, giving rise to planets. The same molecules that float in the clouds become part of comets, asteroids, and, eventually, the worlds that orbit those stars. In this way, the chemistry of interstellar space becomes the chemistry of life. The alcohol molecules drifting through space today may one day be incorporated into living cells, transformed into the sugars, proteins, and DNA of a future world. Even on Earth, the story of our own molecules begins in such clouds. The carbon in your body was made in stars. The water you drink was once steam in ancient nebulae, and the organic molecules that helped spark life may have been delivered by comets' icy travelers carrying interstellar compounds forged in distant clouds like Sagittarius B2. The alcohols found in comets, meteorites, and cosmic dust are remnants of those same processes. They are ancient messages from the universe's first experiments in chemistry, still whispering the same truth, that the seeds of life are scattered everywhere. There is a quiet beauty in knowing that space is not sterile, not empty, but alive with invisible reactions. Even in the coldest, darkest reaches of the cosmos, matter is busy assembling itself into ever more intricate forms. Radiation, though harsh, provides energy for new bonds to form. Dust grains act as tiny laboratories, allowing atoms to cling together in delicate structures. Over cosmic time, these simple molecules evolve into complexity. From hydrogen to methane, from alcohols to amino acids, the chemistry grows richer, more diverse, more capable of giving rise to the patterns we recognize as life. In a way, these interstellar alcohol clouds are like memories of the universe's youth. They preserve the processes that began long before stars or planets existed. Each molecule within them is a relic of time and motion, formed in the balance between chaos and order. And when we detect them, when our instruments catch the faint radio hum of ethanol drifting through the dark, we are hearing the echoes of those early moments, the universe experimenting, building, preparing for what was to come. If you could drift through one of these clouds, it would not look like a fog. It would appear as a soft, transparent field of dust and gas, faintly lit by starlight in the distance. The light would scatter into subtle hues of pink and gold, shaped by the reflections of countless microscopic particles. Around you, the temperature would hover near absolute zero, so cold that sound could not exist. And yet, every particle, every molecule would be moving, reacting, evolving. In silence, the chemistry of creation would be unfolding all around you, invisible but ceaseless. The discovery of alcohol in space reminds us that we are not separate from the system, cosmos, but expressions of it. The molecules that form our cells are part of a chain that began in places like these, cold, dark, and full of potential. Even the glass of wine or cup of tea you might hold in your hand contains the same atomic ingredients that drift through those nebulae. Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, each one born in stars, shaped in clouds, gathered here on Earth to participate in your moment of living. You are the continuation of the same cosmic chemistry that filled Sagittarius B 2 billion years ago. So when you think of those clouds, those immense, invisible oceans of organic vapor, do not think of them as distant oddities. Think of them as reminders. The universe does not waste. It recycles, transforms, and recombines. What floats in darkness today may shine in light tomorrow. The alcohol molecules drifting in the void are not waiting to be consumed, they are waiting to become something more. A comet, a world, a breath, a thought. And somewhere, far in the side, future, when the last red dwarf star burns its final fuel, there will still be clouds like these, floating gently between galaxies. They will still carry their ancient molecules, their quiet chemistry, their potential for life. Even in the fading twilight of the cosmos, creation will not end, it will simply continue in softer, slower forms. The universe will keep brewing its invisible elixirs, its endless mixtures of possibility, and through them, it will remember. The clouds of alcohol in space are the universe's way of keeping its story alive, molecule by molecule, dream by dream, through the endless, star-strewn night. 14. The universe smells like burnt metal and raspberries. Out in the vastness of space, beyond the comfort of air and breath, there is no scent, no breeze to carry fragrance, no molecule to touch the human senses. And yet, if you could somehow step into the great molecular clouds that hang between the stars, if you could bring a piece of them close enough to the warmth of your perception, you would find that even the universe has a smell, not one you could breathe or recognize in the usual way, but a molecular signature, a hidden perfume written into the chemistry of the cosmos. Among the countless molecules drifting through space, one of them, ethyl formate, carries the aroma of raspberries and the faint, sharp scent of burnt metal. The same compound that gives fruit its sweetness and rum its warmth floats quietly through the dust of the Milky Way, scenting the silence of the stars. This is not imagination, but the poetry of observation. In 2009, astronomers studying the giant molecular cloud Sagittarius B2 near the center of our galaxy discovered ethyl formate among a host of other complex organic molecules. It was detected not through smell, of course, but through light, by the way its molecules absorb and emit specific wavelengths of radio energy. Each chemical vibrates in its own way, and by listening to those vibrations with radio telescopes, scientists can identify what substances exist in the void. Ethyl formate's signature was unmistakable. It was the first known molecule to carry both the scent of fruit and the flavor of rum. Somewhere, 26,000 light-years away, an invisible cloud of gas was quietly holding the chemistry of sweetness and fire. It's a strange and beautiful idea that something so humanly familiar as the scent of raspberries exists in the cold emptiness of interstellar space. But this discovery is more than whimsy. It is a reminder that the building blocks of taste and scent, the molecules that shape how we experience the world, are universal. They are not inventions of Earth, but expressions of the universe's broader creativity. Long before life began, the cosmos was already crafting the chemistry of sensation. The molecules that make fruit smell ripe, that make metal burn with a sharp tang, that give flowers their perfume, were already drifting in the dark, waiting for planets to form and beings to evolve that could one day notice them. Ethyl formate is only one of many complex organic molecules found among the stars. The same regions that harbor it also contain amino acids, aldehydes, and hydrocarbons, compounds that, on Earth, are part of life's essential recipes. These molecules are forged in the coldest reaches of space, where dust grains coated with ice act as tiny laboratories. Ultraviolet light and cosmic rays strike these icy surfaces, sparking chemical reactions that build increasingly intricate forms. Over millions of years, the dust grains gather, merge into comets, and carry their organic cargo into young planetary systems. Some of those comets fall onto new worlds, delivering the ingredients for oceans, atmospheres, and eventually, life itself. So when we say that the universe smells of raspberries and burnt metal, we are saying that it already contains the language of life's sensations, the same chemistry that defines flavor and fragrance here on Earth exists far beyond our reach, written into the molecular clouds that stretch between stars. It is as though the universe prepared the ingredients for beauty long before there were eyes to see or noses to smell. If you could somehow take a deep breath within a place like Sagittarius B2, you wouldn't detect sweetness. The air would be unbreathable, thin and toxic, composed of hydrogen, carbon monoxide, ammonia, and methane. But hidden in that mix would be traces of ethyl formate and hundreds of other molecules, each contributing to an unseen bouquet. You would not smell it, but if you could translate molecular vibration into sensation, you would find that space itself carries the memory of warmth, fruit, and flame. The scent of raspberries and metal is not a metaphor. It is a truth written in the structure of atoms. There's a kind of cosmic poetry in this, that the universe, so vast and cold, contains the molecular essence of sweetness. It suggests that even in the emptiest void, there is richness and complexity. Where we expect nothing, the universe offers abundance. Every molecule drifting through space is a fragment of chemistry's endless song, a note in the symphony that gave rise to everything we know. And when astronomers decode those notes, they are, in a way, listening to the universe's fragrance made visible through light. It also reminds us that our senses taste, smell, sight are extensions of the same physical principles that shape the cosmos. The flavor of fruit and the glow of starlight are both products of atomic vibration. When you smell something, you are detecting the pattern of molecules moving through air, their shapes interacting with the receptors in your nose. When astronomers smell the universe, they are doing something similar. They are detecting the shapes and vibrations of molecules across the void, translating those patterns into knowledge. In both cases, it is about connection, the meeting of matter with perception, the transformation of invisible structure into experience. Imagine the path of those molecules, born in the cold heart of a molecular cloud, formed from dust and light. They drift for millions of years through interstellar space. Some will be caught in the gravity of a forming star, swept into a disk of gas and rock. Some will freeze onto comets and travel across systems. Some may one day fall onto a young world, mingling with rain and soil, becoming part of the chemistry of life. The sweetness of fruit, the tang of metal, the scent of rain, these are not inventions of the earth, but echoes of the wider cosmos. When you taste, when you breathe, you are participating in a universal pattern that began long before you. Even now, new discoveries continue to reveal the complexity of interstellar chemistry. Molecules far more intricate than ethyl formate, such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, formaldehyde polymers, and even amino acid precursors have been found in the dust around dying stars and in the tails of comets. Each one is a step on the path from simple atoms to living systems. Each one is a note in the long, slow melody of creation. The scent of the universe, then, is not just one thing. It is a combination of all these molecules, an invisible harmony of organic potential. If one could distill it into an image, it might be like standing in a vast orchard at dusk. The air would be cool and thin, touched with the sweetness of ripe fruit, the faint metallic tang of distant stars, the smoky memory of creation itself. Above, the sky would glow not with blue but with the soft radiation of ancient light, the same radiation that has traveled for billions of years from the beginning of time. The fragrance would not drift on air, but on light itself, a scent beyond breathing, carried through the waves of energy that move through all things. When you think about the smell of the universe, it becomes a meditation on connection. Everything that has ever lived, everything that has ever been sensed or felt, comes from the same chemistry that floats now in those distant clouds. The scent of raspberries and burnt metal is the scent of possibility, the universe reminding us that beauty and life are born from the same materials. What we find delicious or strange here on Earth is only a reflection of a pattern that exists everywhere. In this way, the discovery of interstellar scent becomes something deeply human. It tells us that the cosmos is not an alien place, but a continuation of the same story we live each day. When we bake bread, when we pour wine, when we smell the rain or taste the salt of the sea, we are engaging in chemistry that began long before Earth existed. The stars, in their way, have already done this. They have mixed elements, forged flavors, and scattered them through space, waiting for us to notice. So even though the vacuum of space carries no air, no wind, no breath, it is not scentless. The smell of the universe lives in its molecules, in its memory, in the faint radio whispers of its chemistry. It is the fragrance of creation itself, sweet and sharp, metallic and warm, familiar yet untouchable. The universe smells like raspberries and burnt metal, like the echo of distant fire mixed with the softness of fruit. It is a scent without air, carried by light, waiting quietly in the depths of space for us to listen and remember that we, too, are made of the same essence. 15. The center of the galaxy hums. At the heart of our galaxy, 40,000 light-years away, there lies a quiet hum, a slow, deep vibration that moves through the fabric of space. It is not a sound in any ordinary sense, for sound cannot travel through the vacuum between the stars. It is a resonance of energy, of gravity, of motion. It comes from Sagittarius A*, the supermassive black hole that anchors the Milky Way, a presence both invisible and immense. Around it, millions of stars orbit in patient spirals, and clouds of gas drift through its gravity like mist around a mountain. Though hidden from our eyes, the galactic center is alive with rhythm, a pulse that seems to hold the entire galaxy in balance, a heartbeat that hums in the deep. To look toward the galactic core is to look through vast lanes of dust and gas, through the crowded regions of stars that fill the Milky Way's mid-plane. From Earth, it appears as a bright, hazy band across the sky, a river of light flowing through the darkness. Within that glow lies a region of unimaginable density, where the gravitational pull of Sagittarius A times shapes the dance of everything around it. The black hole itself has a mass of over 4 million suns compressed into a space smaller than the orbit of Mercury. It exerts a power so great that even light bends and curves as it passes nearby. Yet, despite its strength, it is silent, utterly dark, except for the faint glimmers of matter falling toward it, heating as it spins into oblivion. This is where the galaxy hums. The movement of stars, the flickering of gas, the waves of radiation that ripple outward, all of it creates a cosmic rhythm. The black hole's gravity sets the tempo, pulling everything into its slow, eternal orbit. Each star, each particle of dust, adds its own note to the symphony. The combined effect is not something we can hear, but something we can measure. Radio telescopes tuned to the right frequencies detect the energy that pours from the center, a steady emission that rises and falls in subtle patterns. It is as though the Milky Way itself is breathing, expanding, and contracting, its invisible heart sending waves through the dark. In 2022, the Event Horizon Telescope captured the first image of Sagittarius A*. It was not a photograph in the usual sense, but a portrait made of data, a reconstruction of light that had traveled across the galaxy to reach us. What it showed was not a solid object, but a glowing ring surrounding a dark center, the shadow of the black hole itself. The ring was the light from gas and plasma heated to millions of degrees as it spiraled inward. Around that darkness, matter moved at nearly the speed of light, releasing radio waves, X-rays, and gamma rays into space. These emissions, faint but constant, form part of the galactic hum. They are the signature of motion slowed by gravity, the vibration of energy on the edge of eternity. When astronomers listen to this hum, they are not hearing sound, but reading the oscillations of space-time. The black hole and its surrounding disk emit waves that vary over minutes, hours, and years. Some of these variations are caused by flares of material caught in temporary orbits before being swallowed. Others are the steady throb of matter interacting with magnetic fields. Together, they create a kind of music, a low, ceaseless resonance that defines the galactic core. It is not random. It is structured, rhythmic, and strangely beautiful. If you could stand near the center of the Milky Way, not close enough to be destroyed, but within sight of its inner light, you would see a landscape unlike anything imaginable. The sky would be filled with stars, so densely packed that darkness would never truly fall. They would glow in every direction, scattered like embers on an infinite canvas. Clouds of gas would twist and shimmer, illuminated by the ultraviolet light of massive stars being born and dying in rapid succession. Nearer still, you would see the bright whirl of the accretion disk, its light bending into loops as it circled the black hole. And though no sound would reach your ears, you might feel something deeper, the sense of motion all around, the vibration of gravity, the pulse of the galaxy's heart beneath the stillness. That pulse extends outward through the Milky Way, influencing the orbits of stars thousands of light years away. The black hole does not merely sit at the center, it anchors everything. It holds the galaxy together through its gravity, shaping its spiral arms and guiding its long, slow rotation. The stars that orbit the core do so in harmony, each one part of the grand pattern. Some move in elliptical paths that bring them dangerously close before swinging outward again, tracing arcs that take centuries to complete. Others drift more distantly, content to follow the outer rhythm. All a part of the same dance, drawn by the same unseen conductor. In recent years, scientists have even begun to detect echoes, faint ripples of gravitational waves from mergers and movements near the galactic center. When two smaller black holes merge or a massive star collapses, those ripples spread outward, distorting space-time ever so slightly as they travel. By the time they reach us, billions of years later, they are softer than a whisper, yet with instruments sensitive enough, we can detect them. They are the heartbeat of the cosmos, recorded in the medium of time itself. And among those ripples, the central, black hole's rhythm endures, a deep and constant bass line to the universe's unfolding song. What makes this hum so remarkable is not its volume or intensity, but its persistence. It has been there for billions of years, since the galaxy first formed. It is a reminder that even in the stillness of space, nothing is truly silent. Every object, every particle, every field vibrates with energy. The stars hum in their fusion cycles, the planets hum in their orbits, and the galaxy hums in its gravitational dance. The black hole, for all its darkness, is part of that music. It is not the destroyer it is often imagined to be, but a point of balance, a center around which the rest of the galaxy organizes its motion. Without it, the Milky Way would be unanchored, a spiral without a heart. It is strange to think that the same forces that hold our planet in orbit, that shape the moon's tides, that bend light through space, are all connected to this hum. Gravity, in its quiet persistence, unites the smallest atom with the largest structure. The pull that keeps your feet on the ground is the same pull that holds stars near the galactic center, that feeds the hunger of Sagittarius A*. When you stand on Earth and look up, you are not separate from that rhythm. You are part of it. The atoms in your body, the light in your eyes, the pulse of your own heart, all are echoes of the same universal vibration. The galactic hum is not something we can hear with ears. It must be felt with the instruments of the mind, with mathematics, with observation, with imagination. Yet, in a deeper way, we already know it. We feel it in the rhythm of our own lives, in the steady cycle of night and day, in the pulse of tides and seasons. The galaxy hums, and we hum with it. We are made from its matter, shaped by its gravity, moved by its invisible currents. One day, far in the future, when the Milky Way has merged with Andromeda and the night sky has changed beyond recognition, Sagittarius A* will still be there, humming in the dark. It will have grown larger, fed by the merger of two galactic hearts, its rhythm deepening into something new. The stars will continue to orbit, the waves will continue to spread, and the universe will continue to move to its soundless music. For now, though, that hum travels through you, unnoticed, yet constant. The center of the galaxy sings in gravity and light, and though its voice is too low to hear, it fills the entire sky. You are living inside that song every breath, every heartbeat, every thought resonating quietly with the Milky Way's hidden tune. The galaxy hums, and you, in your small, luminous way, are part of the harmony. 16. Light takes 1,000,000 years to escape a star. Every ray of sunlight that warms your skin has made an extraordinary journey. It has crossed 93 million miles of empty space to reach Earth. But that is only the final, brief step of a much longer story. Before that light ever left the surface of the sun, it spent countless ages trapped inside, wandering through an interior so dense that progress was slower than the growth of mountains. Each photon of sunlight began its life in the heart of the sun, born from fusion, where hydrogen atoms collide and merge into helium, releasing bursts of energy that sustain all life on our planet. But the light that reaches you now is not the same energy that was born in the core. That original photon spent as long as 1,000,000 years inside the sun, scattering, colliding, and transforming, before finally breaking free into space. Imagine that for a moment. The light you see today began its journey before human civilization existed, before our species had even evolved. It began deep within the sun, in an environment beyond imagination. The temperature there is 15 million degrees Celsius, and the pressure is so immense that hydrogen atoms, ordinarily repelled by their shared charge, are crushed together into helium. Each fusion reaction releases energy in the form of gamma-ray photons, the most energetic kind of light. But those newborn photons cannot travel far. The sun's interior is so crowded with particles that each photon moves only a few millimeters before striking something, a nucleus, an electron, and being scattered in a new direction. Over and over this happens, millions of times each second, a dance of creation and redirection. The journey outward is not a straight path, but a random walk, a cosmic maze where every step is uncertain. Scientists call this process radiative diffusion. A single photon might travel only a centimeter before being absorbed and re-emitted in a different direction. The result is a slow drift, a wandering through layers of plasma that grows gradually cooler and less dense with depth. Each interaction robs the photon of a little energy, shifting it from gamma rays to X-rays, then to ultraviolet light, and eventually into the visible spectrum, the soft, golden light that reaches your eyes. The light you see is ancient, not in its particles, but in its energy's journey, a pilgrimage from the sun's core to its surface that lasts hundreds of thousands, even millions, of years. When the light finally escapes from the photosphere, the sun's visible surface, it travels freely at last. The dense plasma no longer traps it, and in a mere 8 minutes and 20 seconds, it crosses the void to Earth. Compared to the eons it spent inside, its flight through space is instantaneous. By the time that ray of sunlight touches a leaf, a river, or your face, it carries with it the history of the sun's heart, the story of energy transformed by time. It is the echo of ancient fusion, arriving in the present as warmth and light. Every sunrise, then, is a glimpse into the deep past of the Sunday. When you watch the first light spill across the horizon, you are seeing photons that began their journey when our planet was still covered in ice, or when our ancestors were learning to shape tools. The light that now glints on ocean waves began as the energy of atoms colliding in darkness. Every beam of sunlight is a message written long ago, arriving just now, carrying the pulse of a star that never stops breathing. It is humbling to think of light in this way, not as something fleeting, but as something ancient. Each ray is a survivor of countless transformations. It was born in the chaos of nuclear fire, battered by collisions, scattered through layers of plasma, until finally released to travel unbroken across the solar system. Its persistence is what allows us to exist. The light of the sun sustains every green leaf, every drop of rain, every heartbeat. It fuels the ocean's currents, powers the wind, and nourishes every living thing. It is the foundation of all warmth and motion. And yet it is also a ghost from the distant past, a traveler who began its journey long before any witness existed to greet it. Inside the sun, the conditions that create this light are both violent and delicate. The balance between gravity and fusion defines its structure. Gravity pulls inward with unimaginable force, trying to collapse the sun under its own weight, while the pressure from fusion pushes outward, maintaining perfect equilibrium. If fusion slowed, gravity would tighten its hold. If it increased, the sun would expand. But for billions of years, the balance has held, allowing light to continue its slow emergence. The core is a ceaseless furnace, yet from our distance, its light feels gentle, constant, serene. What appears to us as calm sunshine is the visible surface of immense, unending motion. The light that escapes from the sun spreads outward in all directions, carrying information about its origin. Some of it travels for millions of years more, touching other planets, reflecting off dust, even escaping the solar system entirely. Long after Earth is gone, those photons will continue through the interstellar dark, faint echoes of our star's ancient voice. Perhaps one day, in a far distant age, the remnants of the sun's light will reach another civilization, another world, and they too will study its spectrum, finding traces of our long-faded home. In that way, light is not only warmth, it is memory, carrying the story of where it was born. The sun is not alone in this. Every star, from the smallest red dwarf to the brightest supergiant, holds light within itself that takes ages to emerge. In massive stars, the journey is shorter, but more intense. In small, dim stars, it can take even longer. Each star's light is a record of its nature, its temperature, its mass, its age. When astronomers study starlight, they are reading the language of the stars, deciphering the conditions that gave birth to the photons, now arriving after centuries or millennia of travel. The light we see from distant stars is, in essence, time itself made visible. To imagine a photon's life inside the sun is to imagine patience beyond measure. Each collision, each scattering, is a delay. Yet the photon persists. It does not choose or struggle. It simply moves according to the laws of physics, following the probabilities written into the universe. There is a quiet lesson in that: the power of slow persistence, the beauty of transformation through time. What begins as energy too fierce to be touched becomes, through countless interactions, something that can warm a face, nourish a tree, or illuminate a page. The journey of light is the story of energy becoming life. When sunlight reaches Earth, it continues to change. Some of it reflects off clouds and ice. Some is absorbed by oceans and forests. Some becomes heat. Some becomes food. In plants, it transforms carbon dioxide and water into sugar, storing the sun's ancient energy in living form. Every breath of oxygen you take is a gift from that process, a direct result of light that left the sun millions of years ago. Every heartbeat, every step, every thought is powered by that same lineage of photons. You are made of sunlight, stored and transformed, still traveling its endless path through time. And so, when you stand in sunlight, you are standing in the presence of something ancient. The light around you began its journey in the depths of a star, long before the first human looked up at the sky. It wandered for 1,000,000 years through plasma and gravity, broke free into space, crossed the solar system, and now touches you. In that light is the story of creation, the patience of the universe, the endurance of energy, the miracle of transformation. One day, the sun will fade. Its core will exhaust its hydrogen, and its fusion will slow. It will swell into a red giant, then shrink into a white dwarf, glowing faintly as it cools. But even then, its last photons will continue their journeys, scattering through space long after its warmth is gone. The light will not vanish. It will keep traveling, carrying the memory of the star that once gave life to a small blue world. The light that takes 1,000,000 years to escape a star reminds us that everything radiant requires time. It is not born in an instant. It grows, moves, transforms. What begins deep within darkness eventually emerges into brilliance. Every sunrise, every golden afternoon, every flicker of light is the end of that long, winding journey. A message from the heart of the sun, a whisper from the past that says, "I have traveled far to reach you. I have crossed time to bring you warmth." And when you close your eyes and feel it on your skin, you are completing that story, becoming part of the light's eternal passage through the universe. 17. The universe is mostly empty. When you gaze at the night sky, it is easy to think of the universe as full of stars, galaxies, light, and motion. Yet what fills the cosmos is not matter or energy, but emptiness. Between every star, every planet, every atom, there stretches a gulf of nothingness so vast that our minds can barely contain it. Even the atoms themselves, the building blocks of everything tangible, are almost entirely empty space. The universe in its quiet honesty, is more void than substance. And yet, it is from that emptiness that everything we know arises. The silence between the stars is not absence, it is the canvas upon which existence paints its light. If you could take a single grain of sand and place it in the middle of a dark field, that grain would represent the Sunday. The nearest star, Proxima Centauri, would be another grain placed more than 400 miles away. Between them, nothing, no dust, no sound, no wind, just emptiness so pure that a single atom might drift through it once every cubic centimeter. Space is not filled with things as we know them. It is a sea of distance, a vast black ocean, where the rare islands of matter seem almost accidental. And yet, the void is not truly empty. Even in the most desolate regions between galaxies, the vacuum is alive, with possibility. It is filled with faint whispers of energy, quantum fluctuations that flicker in and out of existence, tiny pulses of creation that never quite vanish. These fluctuations give rise to virtual particles, which appear and disappear in the span of a heartbeat, creating a soft hum that physicists call the quantum vacuum. It is from this restless nothingness that matter and energy may have first emerged. The emptiness of the universe, then, is not a void to be feared, but the quiet source of everything. The spaces between atoms tell the same story. Imagine the simplest atom, hydrogen. At its center lies a single proton, and orbiting far beyond it, an electron cloud. If the proton were the size of a marble, the electron would circle several football fields away. Everything between them is empty space. In fact, if you could remove all that space from the atoms that make up every human being on Earth, what remained could fit into a single sugar cube. The matter that defines us, the flesh, the air, the water, is not solid in any real sense. It is structure and energy suspended within vast emptiness. You, like the stars, are mostly space. This realization is not meant to diminish you, but to connect you more deeply to the universe. The same emptiness that stretches between galaxies exists within you. The same invisible forces that shape the cosmic void hold your atoms together. You are a microcosm of the universe, a small expression of its balance between fullness and absence, presence and silence. When you breathe, you are part of a pattern that spans from the smallest particles to the widest expanses of space. Energy moving through emptiness, light arising from nothing, life flickering briefly against the infinite dark. If you could travel through the universe at unimaginable speed, the scale of its emptiness would astonish you. You would pass through entire solar systems in moments, through interstellar space where the nearest star is 4 light years away, through galaxies where stars are separated by trillions of miles, and then through the even greater voids between galaxies where the nearest island of light lies millions of light years distant. Most of the universe is made of these vast deserts of nothingness. Galaxies themselves, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, are like scattered grains of dust in an endless, invisible sea. And yet, this emptiness is what allows the universe to exist as it does. Without space, there would be no room for movement, no time for change, no structure for light to travel through. The void is not a flaw, but the essential backdrop to being. It is the silence that allows sound to have meaning, the darkness that allows stars to shine. If the cosmos were dense and full, if everything were packed together, light could not move, and time could not flow. The vast spaces are what make the stars visible to us, what give depth to the sky. In a way, the emptiness of the universe is not lonely but liberating. It allows distance to hold meaning, and through distance, connection. The light from a star crosses millions of years of empty space to reach your eyes. Every photon that touches your skin has traveled unbroken through the void. The emptiness between you and the stars is what allows that meeting to happen. Without that space, without that distance, there would be no journey, no arrival, no wonder. It can be comforting to think of emptiness in this way. On Earth, we often associate emptiness with loss or absence, with something missing. But the universe teaches a different lesson. Its emptiness is full of balance and potential. It is the open field in which creation unfolds. Every galaxy, every world, every atom exists because space allows it to. The void holds everything gently, without judgment, without effort, without end. Even the energy that fills the void, dark energy, owes its existence to this cosmic emptiness. It is a quiet force, woven into the proserpine, fabric of space itself, driving the expansion of the universe, stretching galaxies ever farther apart. Over billions of years, that expansion will continue. The spaces between galaxies will widen until their light can no longer reach one another. The stars will fade, the night will grow darker, and the universe will become even emptier than it is now. Yet even then, the silence will not be meaningless. The emptiness will remain what it has always been, the quiet field upon which existence once danced. The idea that the universe is mostly empty can feel daunting, even existential. But if you look closely, you will see something sacred in that emptiness. It is what allows everything to exist, yet demands nothing in return. It asks for no attention, no recognition. It simply is limitless, invisible, patient. You live surrounded by it, shaped by it, sustained by it. The space between the atoms in your hand is the same as the space between the stars. The air that separates you from the sky is part of the same continuum that stretches to the edge of time. If you could listen deeply to the universe, not to its sounds, but to its quiet, you might hear the rhythm of that emptiness. Not silence as absence, but silence as presence. A stillness so complete that it holds all motion within it. The universe breathes through its emptiness, expanding and contracting in cycles beyond our comprehension. The galaxies move through that breath, carried effortlessly by the invisible fabric of space. And so, when you look up at the night sky, remember that what you see, the stars, the glowing arms of the Milky Way, is only a fraction of what is there. The true nature of the universe is the darkness between the lights, the space that allows them to exist. You are looking not just at the stars, but at the vastness that holds them, the infinite expanse that carries every dream and every memory. Even within yourself, the same principle holds. Between your thoughts, there is silence. Between your heartbeats, stillness. Between each breath, a pause. These moments of emptiness are not nothingness, they are space for being. The universe does not fear its emptiness, and neither should you. For in that space, creation begins again and again. The emptiness is not void, it is potential, peace, and endless possibility. So rest in that thought, as stars rest in the night. The universe is mostly empty, yes, but that emptiness is full of meaning. It is the silence from which light emerges, the pause between the notes of a cosmic symphony, the invisible thread that connects everything. In that vast space, there is no loneliness, only openness. You are part of it, made of it, moving through it. You are the fullness that the emptiness has been waiting for. 18. Every galaxy has its own rhythm. If you could drift beyond the Milky Way and look back from the stillness of intergalactic space, you would see our galaxy not as a flat band of light, but as a vast spiral of motion. Every star, every cloud of gas, every dust-filled nebula would be part of a single, unending flow. The Milky Way turns once every 200 million years, its stars moving in long, elegant paths that never collide yet never stop. It is an immense, living system, breathing, spinning, shimmering in silence. And just as our galaxy moves, so too do the trillions of others that fill the universe. Each one has its own rhythm, its own dance of gravity and light, its own ancient pulse echoing through time. A galaxy is not a static thing. It is alive with motion, an ocean of stars, each one following its own orbit within the larger tide of the whole. Spiral galaxies like ours turn gracefully, their arms sweeping outward in long curves, wrapping around luminous cores. Elliptical galaxies move differently, their stars swirling in three-dimensional ellipses like the currents of a deep sea. Dwarf galaxies, faint and fragile, flutter like sparks around larger companions. Together they create the great web of the cosmos, each moving to its own tempo, yet all part of the same grand harmony. The rhythm of a galaxy is written by gravity. Every star within it is both a dancer and an audience, feeling the pull of all the others. The collective mass of billions of stars, along with the invisible presence of dark matter, creates a gravitational field that binds the galaxy together. This field defines the rhythm of its rotation, the speed at which stars orbit, the shape of its spiral arms, the motion of its clouds. It is as though each galaxy carries its own heartbeat, determined by the balance between motion and attraction, between expansion and containment. If you could listen to a galaxy, if you could somehow translate its movements into sound, it would not be a simple hum. It would be a complex symphony of vibrations. The deep bass of gravity, the midtones of orbiting stars, the high notes of supernovae bursting and fading. Every pulse of light, every ripple of gas, every plane, wave of radiation would form part of that unseen melody. In this way, the universe is full of silent music. Each galaxy contributes its own rhythm to the cosmic song, and the vast emptiness between them serves as the silence that makes the music possible. The Milky Way's rhythm is slow but intricate. Stars near its center orbit faster, tracing tight circles around the massive black hole known as Sagittarius A*. Farther out, the stars move more leisurely, following longer paths along the spiral arms. Yet even at the edges, where the light grows faint, they continue their dance, pulled onward by the gravity of the unseen dark matter halo that surrounds the galaxy. This pattern of motion is steady and eternal, but it is not monotonous. The galaxy's structure shifts over time. Arms bend and reform, gas clouds collide and birth new stars. Old stars fade and explode, sending shockwaves through the interstellar medium. Every change is part of the rhythm, part of the breathing of a living, luminous being. Other galaxies dance differently. Some spin with serene precision, their spirals smooth and regular, like the grooves of a record. Others are chaotic, warped, twisted, torn by collisions with neighbors. When galaxies meet, their rhythms intertwine. Gravity stretches them, pulls them apart, and knits them together again. Over hundreds of millions of years, two galaxies can merge into one, their stars redistributing into a new, shared pattern. These cosmic encounters are not violent in the human sense. They are slow, elegant fusions, each movement following the ancient rules of physics. The result is always new, a fresh rhythm born from the blending of two old ones, a new melody added to the universe's score. In some places, galaxies cluster together, orbiting one another like dancers in a circle. The Virgo cluster, the Coma cluster, and countless others are gatherings of hundreds or thousands of galaxies bound by gravity. Within these clusters, galaxies move around a common center, their rhythms mingling in an enormous gravitational symphony. The space between them is immense, but their motions are intertwined. Some drift slowly through the cluster's core. Others are flung outward on long, looping paths. The entire system breathes over billions of years, expanding and contracting, rising and falling in the universe's timeless beat. Even the smallest details within a galaxy follow its rhythm. Stars orbit, planets circle stars, moons revolve around planets, all synchronized within larger cycles. Gas clouds compress into stars. Stars burn and die, their ashes scattered to form new clouds again. Each stage unfolds in its own measure of time, some lasting moments, others lasting billions of years. From the outside, it may seem chaotic, but there is order in the movement. Like waves on an ocean, galaxies sustain their rhythm through balance. No single particle moves without affecting the whole. This cosmic rhythm is not limited to motion, it exists in light as well. The light from each star flickers in harmony with its inner processes: fusion, vibration, magnetism. Some stars pulse with regular patterns, their brightness rising and falling in precise intervals. When astronomers measure these pulses, they can calculate distance, density, and age. Every galaxy, then, carries within it a vast array of metronomes, stars beating in time, each one adding its measure to the galactic whole. When their light combines, it becomes the collective glow we see from afar, a soft, unified shimmer that belies the complex choreography within. Our own galaxy's rhythm touches us in ways we do not always perceive. The solar system moves through the Milky Way's spiral arms every 100 million years, passing through regions rich with gas and dust. These crossings may influence the history of our planet, altering the flow of comets, changing the cosmic rays that reach our atmosphere, perhaps even shaping the rhythms of evolution itself. On a smaller scale, Earth spins and orbits in harmony with the Sun, our lives tied to the regularity of days, months, and seasons. We are not separate from the cosmic dance. We are part of it, keeping time with the motion of everything that surrounds us. And beyond our galaxy, others continue their own dances, too far away to see in detail, yet all contributing to the universe's rhythm. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large neighbor, is moving slowly toward us. In about 4 billion years, the two galaxies will meet, their stars intermingling in vast arcs of light. The result will be a new galaxy, larger, brighter, with a rhythm all its own. To human eyes, such a merger would unfold over millions of generations, too slow to notice. But from the universe's perspective, it is just another phrase in the cosmic song, another breath in an endless composition. Even the universe as a whole has a rhythm. It expands with steady acceleration, carried forward by dark energy. Galaxies drift apart like notes spreading through silence. Yet even as they separate, they remain connected by the invisible fabric of space-time, their movements part of the same unfolding pattern. The cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of creation, still hums through space, a steady vibration that once set the tempo for everything that followed. The first galaxies formed in harmony with that hum, their rhythms echoing the pulse of the universe's birth. When you look up at the stars, you are seeing not a static sky, but a dance frozen by distance and time. Every light you see is moving, orbiting, changing, carrying the rhythm of its galaxy across billions of years. You are part of that motion, too, spinning on a planet that circles a star that orbits a galaxy, that drifts through the expanding universe. You are a participant in the cosmic rhythm, carried by it without effort. And so, when the night feels still and silent, remember, nothing in the universe is truly still. The galaxies turn, the stars pulse, the light itself moves endlessly onward. The rhythm of existence surrounds you, slow, vast, and eternal. Every galaxy has its own rhythm, yet all share the same underlying song, the music of gravity and time. You are living within that music now, breathing to its tempo, shining briefly in harmony with the stars. 19. Time moves differently. In space-time, as we experience it, feels constant. seconds pass, minutes gather into hours, and the rhythm of existence seems steady and familiar. Yet beyond Earth, beyond our limited frame of motion and gravity, time is not uniform. It bends, stretches, slows, and accelerates, changing shape according to where you are and how fast you move. The universe does not keep a single clock. It keeps many. Each planet, each star, each drifting particle of light carries its own rhythm of time. In this way, space is not just vast, it is alive with variations of time itself, flowing unevenly like water over rocks, pooling and curving through gravity's unseen architecture. This idea that time moves differently in space is not imagination, but the natural consequence of how the universe works. More than a century ago, Albert Einstein revealed that time and space are not separate things, but part of a single, unified fabric called space-time. This fabric can bend and stretch under the influence of gravity. Massive objects, like stars, planets, and black holes distort space-time, creating curves that pull everything toward them. But gravity does not only affect motion, it also affects the passage of time. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. The deeper you are in a gravitational field, the slower your clock ticks compared to one farther away. This phenomenon is called gravitational time dilation, and it is not theoretical, it is measurable. On Earth, for example, time moves very slightly faster at the top of a mountain than it does at sea level. The difference is so small it can only be detected by atomic clocks, but it exists. Those living high in the Himalayas are aging infinitesimally faster than those at the ocean's edge, though the effect is too subtle to notice. In space, however, where gravity varies dramatically, these differences become profound. Near a black hole, time can slow to a crawl. A single hour close to its event horizon could equal years or even centuries for someone farther away. In such places, the flow of time almost stops, trapped by the immense pull of gravity. To understand this, imagine a clock orbiting near a massive object. As it falls deeper into the gravitational well, its hands appear to slow when seen from afar. To the clock itself, time feels normal, it ticks in its own rhythm, but to an observer far away, the movement stretches, seconds elongate, and light from the clock shifts toward red, its frequency stretched by the slowing of time. If the clock were to reach the event horizon of a black hole, it would appear to freeze entirely. It would never seem to cross that threshold, though in its own frame, time would continue. This is not illusion, it is reality. The universe allows time to flow differently depending on perspective. Even motion can shape time. According to special relativity, the faster you move, the slower your time passes compared to someone at rest. This is called time dilation due to velocity. It means that if you could travel at near the speed of light, time for you would stretch and slow. You could journey for what felt like a few years, while decades or centuries passed elsewhere. This is not science fiction, it has been proven countless times through experiments with high-speed particles and precise clocks aboard fast-moving spacecraft. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station, orbiting Earth at 17,000 miles per hour, experience time ever so slightly slower than those on the ground. When they return, they are younger by mere milliseconds, but younger nonetheless. These effects, though small for us, become extraordinary on cosmic scales. A photon, the particle of light, experiences no time at all. For light, which travels at the universe's ultimate speed, time stands still. From its perspective, the moment of emission and the moment of arrival are the same. A photon that left a distant galaxy billions of years ago has, in its own frame, traveled no time at all. It is humans, bound by slower frames of reference, who experience the journey as long. For light, there is no waiting, no passage, no before or after, only existence. This stretching and bending of time gives the universe its structure. Galaxies orbit for billions of years because gravity slows the clocks near their centers. Stars evolve, die, and collapse according to the rhythm of time in their local spacetime. The universe itself is expanding, and as it grows, the fabric of time stretches with it. What we call the age of the universe, about 13.8 billion years, is measured, according to our frame of reference here on Earth. To other observers, in other gravitational wells or moving at different velocities, the universe might seem older or younger. Time, like light, depends on where you stand. If you could see time as a landscape, it would not be a straight line but a terrain of hills and valleys. Near massive bodies, the valleys deepen and time slows. In the emptiness between galaxies, it flows faster and freer. Every planet, every star, every black hole creates its own distortion in this terrain. We move within it constantly, unaware of the gentle curvature beneath our feet. Our lives unfold in local time, our seconds aligned to the gravity of our planet and the speed of our motion. But above us, and below us, and beyond us, the clock of the cosmos ticks differently. There is a quiet poetry in this realization. It means that every part of the universe experiences existence at its own pace. There is no universal present, no single now shared by all things. The stars you see in the night sky are images from different moments in time, some recent, others ancient. When you look up, you are not seeing one moment, but many woven together into a single tapestry of light. Some of those stars no longer exist. Their light, still traveling toward us, is a message from the past that has not yet faded. In that sense, time and space is not linear but layered, overlapping, filled with echoes. It also means that your own life is intertwined with the motion of the cosmos in ways invisible but profound. You are moving with the Earth around the Sun, with the Sun around the Milky Way, and with the Milky Way through the expanding fabric of space-time. Every motion, every gravitational pull, every shift in velocity changes your experience of time by the smallest fraction. You are living in your own personal slice of time, unique, unrepeatable, defined by where and how you exist in the universe. Near the event horizon of a black hole, where gravity's pull is nearly infinite, time becomes almost still. From outside, a falling object would appear frozen forever, its image stretched and dimmed. But from within its own frame, it would continue moving, feeling nothing strange, its journey completed in finite time. The universe, then, contains regions where the flow of time itself breaks down, where the concept of before and after dissolves. These are not places we can visit, but they remind us of something essential, that time, for all its seeming regularity, is not a river that flows evenly for all. It is a field, a dimension that bends and breathes like the rest of the cosmos. When you look at the stars tonight, remember that their light carries not just distance, but time. The photons that reach your eyes may have left their sources millions or billions of years ago. You are seeing the past as it still arrives, and in a sense, you are living in many times at once. Each beam of light is a story written long ago, and yet still unfolding as you perceive it. Time does not move the same everywhere, and yet somehow it connects everything, every star, every planet, every thought through the same continuous thread. In this way, the universe teaches us that time is not something we pass through, but something that shapes and holds us. It is flexible, relative, deeply personal. It is both the silence between moments and the heartbeat that keeps them moving. When you breathe, when you pause, when you feel a second stretch or vanish, you are feeling what stars and galaxies feel too, the ebb and flow of time's fabric. You are part of the same curved space-time that bends light and slows clocks. You are, in your own way, a rhythm within the larger symphony of time. 20. The universe will never truly end. When we look up at the night sky, we often imagine that everything we see is fleeting, that the stars will one day fade, the galaxies will drift apart, and the universe will dissolve into silence. In one sense, that is true. Time will carry everything forward into forms we cannot yet imagine. The stars will die, the galaxies will thin, the light will dim until it is softer than memory. And yet, the universe will not truly end. It will change. Yes, slowly, endlessly, gracefully, but it will not vanish. Existence itself is woven into the fabric of time, and time, even as it stretches into infinity, does not disappear. The universe will continue to breathe, not in light and fire as it does now, but in subtler, quieter ways. In the far future, the stars will begin to fade. The bright, massive suns that fill galaxies with brilliance will be the first to go. Their fuel will burn quickly, and they will collapse into black holes or scatter their remains across space in clouds of heavy elements. The smaller, steadier stars, those red dwarfs that burn for trillions of years, will continue long after all others have died, glowing dimly in a universe that has grown cold. There, light will be faint, reaching no one but themselves. Yet still they will shine. Even as the galaxies drift farther apart, and the distances between them grow vast, these ancient stars will carry the last embers of creation within their cores. As the universe expands, the night will grow darker. Galaxies beyond our local group will slip beyond the horizon of visibility, their light stretched by cosmic expansion until it fades entirely. From our future vantage point, the universe will seem smaller, though it will, in truth, be far larger. What remains visible will be the Milky Way and its neighbors, slowly merging into one vast elliptical galaxy, its stars circling a common heart. Within it, black holes will grow as they consume the remnants of dead suns. Gravity will continue its quiet work, drawing matter inward, even as space itself continues to expand outward. The rhythm of the cosmos will slow, but it will not stop. Stars will continue to form, though less and less often. Each generation will be smaller and dimmer than the one before, as the available gas is used up or flung into the void. After hundreds of trillions of years, the last stars will flicker out. The universe will enter what physicists call the degenerate era, a time when fusion no longer burns, and the only light comes from the faint glow of cooling remnants. White dwarfs, neutron stars, and black dwarfs will populate the dark, each one radiating the last of its stored energy into the endless night. The age of starlight will be over, but even then, the universe will not end. The black holes will remain, those invisible giants that sit in the centers of galaxies and the remnants of long-dead stars. Over unimaginable spans of time, they will shape the universe in their own way. Slowly, very slowly, they will evaporate through a process called Hawking radiation, releasing faint particles of energy as they lose mass. A single black hole may take 10, 100 years, numbers too large for 10, comprehension to vanish completely. Yet vanish they will, leaving behind nothing but radiation and memory. When that final light escapes, the universe will be filled only with a thin haze of particles, drifting far apart in an ocean of near absolute zero. To us, this might sound like an ending, but in truth, it is another phase. The universe is not dying, it is transforming. The energy that once burned in stars will still exist, dispersed across space, carried by the faintest particles and waves. The laws of physics will continue to operate, even in the quietest corners. Matter will still move, fields will still fluctuate, and the quantum vacuum will still shimmer with potential. The universe will be vast, cold, and nearly empty, but not dead. It will hum softly with the background vibration of existence, the residue of everything that ever was. Even time itself will continue. There will be no boundary where the universe stops, no final curtain drawn across its expanse. It will simply keep expanding, its galaxies pulled farther apart until they become islands adrift in an ocean of darkness. Distances will grow so great that even light will no longer be able to bridge them. Yet space itself will keep stretching, carrying with it the faint afterglow of creation, the cosmic microwave background, now faded beyond all detection but still present, woven into the fabric of space-time. In that future, the universe will be a place of silence and potential, waiting patiently for whatever might come next. Some physicists believe that this expansion will continue forever, asymptotically approaching stillness without ever truly stopping. Others imagine that the universe may one day collapse back upon itself, reversing its expansion in a great contraction, a big crunch. And some speculate that new universes may be born from the quantum foam that lies beneath our reality, bubbling forth as fresh expansions of space-time. In this view, the universe never ends because it is not singular. It is part of a larger, eternal cycle, a sea of universes, forming, expanding, and fading like waves upon an infinite shore. No matter which vision proves true, the underlying truth remains the same. Energy does not vanish, and neither does time. Every atom that exists today will continue to exist in some form, long after stars have faded and galaxies have thinned. The light that shines from the sun today will continue its journey, stretching across billions of years, forever moving outward, forever becoming part of something larger. You are, in a sense, part of that immortality. The particles that make up your body were forged in ancient stars, and when you are gone, they will return to the universe, to be scattered and reformed, perhaps into something new. The universe's persistence is quiet but profound. It reminds us that endings are not truly endings, only transitions. The death of a star creates the elements that form new planets and life. The collapse of matter into a black hole gives rise to energy that will one day return to the cosmos. The fading of light does not erase it. It only transforms it into another form, carried forward through time. Even the expansion of space, though it stretches all things apart, does not destroy it, reveals new possibilities, new scales, new patterns of being. The universe is always becoming, never ceasing. And in that endless becoming, there is beauty. The universe does not fear its own decay. It moves through cycles of brightness and darkness, creation and dissolution, with perfect calm. It has no urgency, no despair. Its timeline stretches beyond comprehension, and yet, within every moment, it is whole. Whether in the blaze of a young galaxy or the stillness of the far future, it remains the same vast being, alive in its transformations, peaceful in its continuity. When you look up at the stars tonight, you are witnessing one brief era in that infinite story. You are seeing light that has traveled across billions of years, from places that may no longer exist, and yet their essence still arrives here, still touches you. That light is proof that nothing truly ends, that existence, once begun, continues to echo through time. Long after the last star has gone dark, long after all matter has dissolved, the universe will still carry those echoes, soft and endless, like ripples on the surface of eternity. So when you think of the universe's end, do not imagine a sudden silence. Imagine instead a deepening calm, a slow transformation into something new. The light may fade, the stars may die, but the energy that made them will remain, stretching on forever, reshaping itself into new forms we cannot yet conceive. The universe will never truly end, because existence itself has no boundary. It is not a story with a last page. It is a poem without a final line. A song whose final note is always still playing, softly, across the vastness of forever.